And Chris Tyndale Bisco as we take you through the first power play of the first match in the second day of the Women's Super League T20. We had a great day of cricket yesterday, and now we begin again with the winners of yesterday's second match, the Coronations, fielding. They won the toss, chose to field against the team that lost the first match, that is the Starlights. At bat right now, you're looking at the number 12 jersey of Lizelle Lee and Anne-Marie Dirksen, who's been promoted up the order. Yesterday she batted at 6, and now today she's opening the batting. The Starlights looking to make their batting lineup slightly longer.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie Dirksen hits a long ball, so it's one of those situations where you want her to get the pace of it. But she was bowled yesterday very nicely by Mussolini Daniels.
Yeah, so it's Andre Steyn who makes way. She was the other opener yesterday. She'll move slightly down the order. One would imagine. We'll see how that lines
To
up.
3. So then the team changes are as follows. Kushi Mystery, who scored the 34 yesterday, that stand with the low order is out, and she's replaced by Nicole de Klerk. And Anne-Marie
Henri
Grobler,
the wicketkeeper, took a brilliant catch off.
Is also out for Kirsty Tomlinson, who's a right arm seamer from Western Province. So just giving a little bit of rotation. Nicole de Klerk is also in. She was the replacement for Chloe Tryon, who withdrew.
And then for the Coronations, Nadine de Klerk's fit again, so she comes back. And the player to lose out, the youngest player of the competition, Madison Landsman. Plenty of opportunities will come away in the future there.
Ayabonga Kaka to start off. Great ball there, back of a length. Lizelle Lee looking to free her arms, but she must be very happy to have a little bit to hear that ball come off the bat there.
All those changes, you'd think of more rotation than anything else. The players that have missed starts are players who did quite well in the first game.
And Henri Grobler was great behind the stumps. So the assumption would be then that Lizelle Lee's probably going to keep wicket for the Starlights, but we'll wait to see in the second innings. Oh, beautiful ball from Ayabonga Kaka cutting in, and we have a second ball wicket. Lizelle Lee's tough time here at the WSL continues. She only managed to get 4 yesterday, but this one bouncing slightly lower than she expected, and taking that off stump there.
Yeah, 2 stumps blown out of the ground, off and middle, both on their backs at the moment.
What a ball, what a start for the Coronations. Look at the value of having one of South Africa's best bowlers in Ayabonga Kaka. She was selected in the second round. She was the 5th player selected in the draft, and she was selected by the Coronations. And the value of having such a very pacey fast bowler is impressive. You know, Shabnim Ismail was selected first of the fast bowlers, and the second one was Ayabonga Kaka. She's showing her value.
And yeah, Shabnim Ismail was presented as much problems for the Starlights yesterday as Kaka's posed.
Yes,
so far,
what a start, a really great start for Captain Nadine de Klerk, who's now come in. She wasn't fit yesterday, now she comes in to take the reins for this Coronation side, who are the defending champions.
So yeah, Ayabonga Kaka yesterday, 4 overs, 2 wickets, 20 runs, and carries on where she left off. As we see the new batsman come to the crease.
Number 4, that's Andre Steyn.
So she is almost opening anyway.
And Andre Steyn, the top order bat who plays for Proteas as well, coming in. Ayabonga with a beautiful line outside that off stump. It's a nice ball. Looking at the field there, Chris, you've got 4 fielders in the ring on the offside conventional point. You've got a extra cover mid-off, that is the Nadine de Klerk. You've got mid-off on the leg side, mid-wicket on the circle, and a fine leg on the circle. You have a deep square leg there, as well as the fielder here at 3rd man. And that's that. Those are the 2 fielders who are outside the circle. Tidy line there from Ayabonga, and good fielding from Laura Volfart, who's at point. So what are you expecting today from the Starlights? Obviously, they've lost Lizelle Lee. Yesterday, the loss of Lizelle Lee kind of stifled them a lot.
Yeah, hopefully we see a stronger start. They need to avoid losing those early wickets like they did yesterday. And now the player that did top score for them yesterday, Kushi Mystery's out of the side, so they can't rely on her later overruns either. So definitely need a stronger start.
Great fielding there at cover by Isel Saliers of the Coronations, preventing the shots there. The ball going to the boundary as she was the fielder in that ring. So very good fielding. The fielding yesterday really showed that the athleticism that's happening in provincial cricket is really improving. Another ball, very tidy over there from Ayabonga Kaka. The first ball, it's a wicket maiden to start off the second day of the Women's Super League T20. Question is, who is Nadine going to go to next? And it looks as though Nadine will be bowling. We're looking to see who Nadine's giving. I thought she'd take the ball as the second, as the opener, but they are.
It might be Mlaba who's setting the field and making a way towards the crease.
It's Nonkululeko lefty Mlaba, similar to the World Cup, Chris. Happened yesterday as well. Open with the left arm spin of lefty. You now have Anna Marie Dirksen, who spent the whole first over at the non-strikers end watching the carnage and the great bowling from Aya. So now we're just trying to get a field for lefty. She's got a fly slip, a backward point at Laura Volfart, conventional point that's Isel Saliers. Kirsty Thompson is at cover. Captain Nadine is at mid-off. Mid-on is number 17, that is Zintle Kula, and then you've got the two fielders out on the boundary at deep mid-wicket, as well as the fielders now going to more conventional deep fine leg, and you have a mid-wicket in the ring there on the square. Lefty coming into bowl. Oh, that one's a lot straighter. Stifled appeal there, but it was a height issue. To which Anna Marie Dirksen was a little bit. She couldn't free her front leg to play it off to the leg side, and so very good start from lefty. Another ball that goes on with the arm, not giving Anna Marie Dirksen any room there. You'd assume that Anna Marie Dirksen would be looking for a little bit more pace on that ball to be able to free her arms and take advantage of the power play. Down the leg side appeal and not out there. Height also another issue for that one there, Chris.
Yeah, good tight stuff so far. Carrying on, still not any runs so far in this inning. Strong start from Ayabonga Kaka, followed up very well by
And the umpires today are Adele Lowe and Cherie Stain for this first match between the Coronations and the Starlights. Good line outside the off stump from lefty, not giving Anna Marie Dirksen any room to free her arms. Anna Marie Dirksen is quite a handy bat and can hit a long ball and find the gaps with a little bit of power. And so, she'd be hoping to get a little bit more pace on that ball. She's not, I think she would have much more preferred to face Ayabonga, but Ayabonga's accuracy is quite good. Sweep shot there from Dirksen, and the fielder on the boundary is Tasman Brits, who assumes her natural position. Normal programming has resumed, and we have the first run of the day, 1 for 1.
Yeah, Mlaba's second highest wicket taken last year's edition. She didn't manage to pick up any yesterday, although she did bowl very well, especially in the beginning of their match in the second match of yesterday.
Great ball there, very full, not giving Andre Steyn in anything there. Great bowling from Mlaba, 1 run off that over.
Yeah, the Coronations looked very strong yesterday, and bringing Nadine de Klerk back into the side is always going to make them stronger. So definitely looking like an intimidating side to come up against.
Yes, you kind of felt yesterday they were a seamer short yesterday. They bowled everybody. Zintle Kula, who is an all-rounder, bowls a lot. I think those 2 overs they probably give to Nadine de Klerk there. But they had to try to find around. There's a lot of spinners in this team. Mlaba, they have Raisibe Ntozake. They've got Janae, who bowled very well at the death in that final over to restrict the Duchesses yesterday to that. I think it was a 12-run victory.
Right. The other thing worth mentioning is the fact that they brought the boundary in slightly for the second day of the WSL in by 10 meters, apparently down to 55 meters. So we may see a few more boundaries.
Nice little cut there from Anna-Marie Dirksen, rotating the strike. That's something that we need to be watching out for today. Each team averaged about 10 boundaries a match yesterday out of the 120 balls. And also, looking at this Coronation, the Starlights side had 59 dot balls in their innings against the Thistles.
But yeah, it's hard to get a massive score when half the deliveries aren't going for anything.
And they haven't started well today, but they would need to step it up. Good shot there from Andre Steyn. Good shot for no run.
Yeah, it happened yesterday as well, where the Coronations covers look pretty impenetrable, save for a few shots every now and again. It's strong fielding all along that offside.
Yes, Ayabonga very tidy in the batter. Straying down the leg side, and a single Raisibe Ntozake there on the boundary at deep square leg for a single. I beg your pardon, that's Zintle Kula who was the fielder there. Ringfield with a deep square leg and the third man on the boundary. Oh, got a ball from Aya. Block hole ball. She was trying to break through those defenses.
You can tell she knew it was a good ball and thought it deserved more, because dot delivery that the batsman struggled to dig out, and she was still frustrated with the result there, Kaka.
Another one there, and Andre Steyn, Anne-Marie Dirksen is also up for the challenge. It's a really good contest so far between Aya and Dirksen, who seemingly is getting a hold of that double bluff from Aya again.
Yeah, so although they haven't scored a lot of runs so far, I'm impressed with the fact that they've aligned themselves to be a bit more circumspect and avoid what happened yesterday, as this one's dabbed down to third man, where it's fielded by Nonkululeko Mlaba. Clever
from Dirksen. She's playing with her angles, and that's what you want to see. I think that's what also the selectors want to see. Just not necessarily the power hitting, but also the ability to find gaps to rotate the strike when seemingly you can't find the boundaries. Yesterday they scored, as I was looking at this last night, they scored 7 boundaries in the entire innings. Lizelle Lee with 1, Masabata Klaus with 2, Kushi Mystery is not playing with 2, and Tatum LaRue at the bottom of the order with 2 as well. And out of 120 balls, 7 coming from boundaries isn't that great, but the other thing that you need to do is rotate the strike.
Especially against a bowler like Kaka, where you may struggle to get those boundaries away. You need to make sure the runs are
lefty in again with a full toss, and that one is swept for 4 by Anna-Marie Dirksen, who got a gift first up.
Right. Yeah, I think you can afford to defend and just go for those singles against Kaka, and then when the other bowlers come on, like Mlaba now, maybe try to score a few more.
Speaking about boundaries there, the first boundary of the day going to Anna-Marie Dirksen. A lot of work needed to be done to collect the ball from the covers that normally drape this Newlands pitch at the end of the day. And so, it takes a little bit of time. Tasman Brits is now back in the field. Yes, left. The two fielders outside the ring for lefty are fine leg, a little bit squarer, and that square leg again. Lefty struggling to find a length in this over so far, giving Anna-Marie Dirksen 2 full tosses to sweep. This one was slower, and Dirksen not coming through the shot a lot quicker, and so just resulting in a single. Looking for 2 there are the Starlights, and Andri Stein getting her second run there. So very good use of that leg side ball just to play it down and just rotate the strike. Lefty's flighting the ball.
Yeah, that was a very flighted one, and again it just hits that strong cover field. In this case, Laura Walbart sitting at point.
But look, if you look at her fielders on the offside, she's got Wolfart, Saliers, Thompson, and Nadine de Klerk all ready to pick up on any mistimed shot.
Oh, lovely delivery there.
I thought that one was out, but it looked like it was going down leg, and the umpire says not out.
Yeah, but keeping that pressure on, very good delivery. Yeah, slightly faster one after the previous flighted one. Yeah, misses the length slightly there, and it's another sweep shot, but this one is picked up on the boundary, and so it doesn't. They managed to go through just for a single.
End of the fourth, 11-4-1, 4 overs in. Andri Stein on 2, Anna-Marie Dirksen on 9. She's improved on her score yesterday of just only getting 1.
Yeah, although they're not going especially quickly at the moment, it's good that they're able to put themselves together after losing the early wicket of Lizelle Lee, who would be one of the almost franchise players.
And we have the first bowling change of the match, and that is the captain, Nadine de Klerk, who has played 20 matches for the Proteas, Momentum Proteas women, taken 18 wickets at an average of 14, and her run rate at that level is 7.06. She played for the Brisbane Heat this year in the WBBL. She's got a conventional ring field with fine leg and third man being the fielders on the boundary. Beautiful first ball down the leg side, falling over there is Nadine, and it's a dot ball from her.
Yeah, we missed her yesterday where she had apparently a little bit of a niggle, but she's back now, taking the place of Madison Landsman.
And in WSL, she's taken 3 wickets in 6 matches. Her best performance is 2 for 13. Slow ball there from Nadine. Very good to see the variation coming through from the captain wearing number 5. So we saw her this morning, Chris, running around the field, getting through the fitness drills, running and getting herself fit for the day. Yesterday she had a bit of a niggle.
This one strays just slightly down leg, as we'll see if that's signalled.
Looking to turn that 2. They're running for a 2 and they are safe. Great calling there from Anna-Marie Dirksen, who had to make that call. Janae Winster, the fielder from fine leg, bringing that ball in.
Again, strain just the tiniest bit down leg. There is an appeal. The umpire is not interested as this goes again to Jane Winster.
And most importantly, another single's taken off that ball. It's a leg by confirmed by the umpire, coming off the toe of Anna-Marie Dirksen. good ball just outside that off stump block hole ball and played out to the offside.
Yeah, probably closer to the line that she was looking for from those earlier deliveries.
You just want that straighter.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think T20s. I think the world's now moving over to those wide full tosses.
Those were very in vogue a few years ago. I remember Tamil Mills was quite a good exponent of that. A few bowlers, and then the straight towards the more Mitchell Starkey, just on the wickets, Jasprit Bumrah, Yorkers.
Oh, great fielding from Nadine de Klerk off her own bowling, coming back to stop that ball from going for extra runs.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep it tight, those wide, almost Yorker length deliveries are, unless the batsman's especially inventive, or the batter's especially inventive, very difficult to get away.
It's very interesting that obviously with the COVID protocols, as we wait for one over until the end of the power play, with those COVID protocols, obviously players need to hold each other's caps and sunglasses and everything else. It's an odd sight to see, but it's also for the safety of everybody else. We're seeing the first change, another change to the bowling. It is Raisibe Ntozake, number 17.
Yeah. She was a little bit expensive yesterday, but she only got the 2 overs, I'm sure, and now she's been used slightly early in the innings. I think we'll get to see what she's able to do, if she's able to continue the containment that we've seen so far.
Yeah, she's good to see her back. She had changed her action and didn't play in WSL 2.0. She played in the first one, second one she didn't, and now she's getting that opportunity again for the second time. A little bit of intent there from Anne-Marie Dirksen. Can't get past the fielder at mid-off, being Nadine de Klerk. A very good quartet of fielders on that offside, as well as Tasman Brits and Zintle Kule in the outfield. A very strong fielding side is this Coronations team. Oh, this one turning into the right-handed Dirksen, who plays it off her pads very nicely.
Yeah,
there.
The first delivery looked closer to an arm ball, not a huge amount of revs on it as it just sort of pushed on. That one slightly more spin as it turned in towards the batter.
Yeah, yesterday she was darting them in rather than allowing them to get a little bit of flight and turn off the pitch. It was more reminiscent of someone who was wanting to be restrictive in a longer format of the game. Little bit of flight there, and great fielding from Nadine de Klerk on the edge of that square there to prevent the boundary, and it's just one run coming off of that. She's just a supreme athlete.
Yeah, brilliant diving star.
Full toss and nearly connected there, and just no run there. She hit it well. It would have been down the throat of lefty.
Yeah. That's just good field placement. You can afford for the batsmen to hit it like that if they're hitting it straight to your fielders.
Well, it also brings that fielder at mid-wicket.
Another flight to delivery and another one straight to the fielders. Nadine de Klerk's in business again.
Anne-Marie Dirksen is just so disappointed. She just needs to find a little bit of a gap next to Nadine there with all these balls being flighted.
Yeah, striking 3 shots quite nicely, but not getting any runs for them. This one, she will get at least the one for it. She sweeps it into the leg side.
And that brings the end of the power play. We'll have a commentary change. Thank you, Chris. And we've got a special surprise for everyone with Colin Bryden joining me. 17 for 1 are the Starlights after the power play. As we move on to the second part of the innings, which is the middle overs, as teams are now able to have more fielders outside that inner ring. Currently, if you look at the bowling, Ntozake is 1 for 1 over, 3 runs, with Mlaba having bowled her 2 overs for 8. And Kaka, the only one with the wicket right now, 1 wicket for 3 runs after 2 overs. And number 3, Zintle Kula, is the next bowler in. She bowled really nicely yesterday for her 2 overs in the absence of Nadine de Klerk, who kind of they were missing. Hi, Colin. How are you doing?
Morning, Paul. Very good to be here. It's a beautiful day, and I've been very impressed so far with the discipline of the bowlers. And in fact, one thing I noticed from yesterday's cricket was how few extras there were. Wides, no balls. Bowlers have been pretty much on the mark. The fielding's been sharp. and the batsmen haven't really been able to find the gaps.
Yes, I think, Colin, I think at the draft, everyone was so much strength versus strength, and this is what you get when you have strength versus strength. Lots of discipline. Very nice cut there. The ball's swinging away from that right-hander easily to be able to cut from Anna-Marie Dirksen.
Yeah, you get the impression sometimes that the batsmen are looking to play some of the big shots. We saw in the last over some very tempting deliveries sort of floated up by Raisabi and Sazaka. But the batsmen going for the big shots and hitting it straight to the fielders.
I think the Starlights team we expected them to be just very powerful at the top, and it just hasn't been. That's a great drive for no run again. This one is Andre Steyn this time, a little bit of frustration from her. It's just not the greatest of balls from Zintle Kula. Was there to be hit. It was just a half volley that just went straight to Nadine.
Yeah, I suppose any team that's got Lizelle Lee in it, you're obviously expecting or hoping that she comes off.
Yes. Oh, mistimed shot there, coming through that shot very quickly. Did Andre Steyn, and just squirting out to the field at backward point. But interesting over from Zintle Kula. She's trying to find the right line, but she's pushing that pace, which is what you want to see early on with a harder ball. Yesterday she bowled after the 10th over, and so the ball was slightly softer. Another one there, going straight to Nadine de Klerk. Field placings on point so far from the captain. She didn't captain the Coronations last year. Danae Fanika captained the Coronations, but they are unavailable, Danae and Marzan. And so Nadine got an opportunity to captain the Coronations as a first time out, because yesterday it was Laura Wolfhard who was captaining. Not the greatest of balls from Zintle Kula. Easy pick up there from Andre Steyn, who pulls that to the square leg boundary for 4.
Yeah, that was almost the first real gift delivery we've seen today. Very, very short down the leg side, and all that needed to happen was that Andre Steyn needed to help it on its way down to backward square leg.
And there was something we were worried about yesterday, was how Laura Wolfhard was going to manage the bowling in the absence of Nadine de Klerk. Because if you got Nadine, you've got Ayabonga Kaka, that's your 8. You've got Mlaba with Raisibo and Tozaki, and that other 4 overs between Zintle Kula and Janae Winster were the ones. Great shot on the up. There's a run-out opportunity there at the non-striker's end, and Anna-Marie Dirksen makes it in. A bit of a mix-up there with the calling. She found herself stranded halfway up the pitch, and she made it back in.
Yeah, I think the fielders will be looking at themselves there a bit disappointed, because she was more than halfway down the pitch, and unfortunately
It's that awareness of knowing that at the non-strikers end, we all need to back up. It's not just the keeper.
I think it was one of the points that you people made yesterday, was the need at the bowler's end to have somebody
always there,
ready to get the ball in exactly that sort of situation, where the fielder only needs to just lob the ball in, and it would have been a run out.
Yeah. And a missed opportunity there for the Coronations. Hopefully they will not pay dearly for it. Anna-Marie Dirksen has been the senior batter here with the most runs on 14. And we see Janae Winster coming through. She is from the Southwestern Districts, bowled really well yesterday, getting a few wickets in that final over. She was given 20 to save and win that match for her team in that last over. She did very well, only getting 8 and a couple of wickets as well. Right arm off. Nice little cut there from Anna-Marie Dirksen, who just seemingly loves that spot in the field. And it's giving her a lot of joy just to rotate the strike and play it through. And I think the one thing that the Starlights team is missing is Chloe Tryon, who isn't here. She withdrew from the squad. And when you looked at the draft, it was Chloe Tryon, Laura Goodall, Lizelle Lee, Andre Steyn. You expected a powerhouse, aggressive batting lineup. And now they've been forced to adapt to try and put up scores that they can defend. This ball played out to the leg side. Zintle Kula with the fielding there in that on the leg side in the circle.
Well, I suppose yesterday certainly wouldn't have given them a lot of confidence. They only made 89 for 9.
And just a single down the ground there on the leg side.
So I guess they are in that very awkward situation where they know they need to lift the scoring rate, but they also know that the batting failed yesterday, so you need to consolidate.
And you're also up against a very strong batting lineup as well in the Coronations. And yesterday when the Thistle scored 100, we thought, no, then they were way too low. This one is standing up there from Janae Winster, surprising Andre Steyn there, and she just could only just bat it out onto the offside.
Yeah, very interesting. I think you might have discussed the boundary situation, which I'll come back to in a moment.
Shortish ball there. Andre Steyn looking to come down. Anne-Marie Dirksen, I beg your pardon, looking to come down the wicket. And no joy as that fielder at mid-wicket is doing a lot of work. There she's almost quite silly in her positioning. And I mean that in the closeness to the wicket. Another cut this time. Laura Wolfart is a lot finer for that one. And great fielding from her to prevent another single coming off of that over. 24 for 1 after the 8th over. Something needs to happen to just get this train going of the Starlights.
Yeah, that was a particularly interesting one because Anne-Marie Dirksen, I think, looking to accelerate the pace, started to come down the wicket, and what in fact she got was a ball that was a bit short. If she'd waited for it, I think she would have been able to place it wide of Laura Wolfart, but she actually got herself into a little bit of a tangle, I think.
Yeah, it's like a game of poker, you know. There's a little bit of on the river, I've got this, but
I guess you have to give credit to the bowler, don't you? You can always say, well, the bowler saw it happening and reacted.
Yes, we always say that, and that's something that we have to get to the bowlers. Nadine de Klerk resumes, and a nice little hit down the ground from Andre Steyn. A little bit of intent from the Starlights batter there, the number 4. We're seeing a fielding change. The fly slip is now going out to a third man, looking to prevent that cut from Anne-Marie Dirksen and just probably just get a 1 out of it rather than anything more. Looking for Nadine's asking for lefty to come a little bit finer there as well. Inside, was that an inside edge?
I think what happened there was again, I think Anne-Marie Dirksen is looking to lift the pace, and she was stepping away to leg, looking to get some width, and Nadine de Klerk reacted very well by just bowling it a little bit wider, and couldn't get bat on it, I don't believe.
Yeah, very good ball there. Oh, yes, Anne-Marie Dirksen seemingly hit the ground there. Single down the leg side. No one's going to chance their arm again. Take a chance against Tasman Brits down at the boundary.
Interesting again. The field changes. Third man comes up.
Great shot there. No runs there. Just a very good length that Nadine is bowling. It's that full length in the block hole, not giving the batsman anything to get underneath it.
Now, I believe she was missing yesterday because of injury. What do you know what sort of injury that was?
We don't know. It seemed like it was a niggle. The physio felt it was prudent to have her stay out. This one is a wide ball that will be bowled again. The physio felt it prudent that she stays out of the team yesterday. Look, I think because she's played the WBBL, she was in Australia, getting into different bubbles here and there, coming out of Australia into South Africa. So sometimes it's just rest that is needed to just allow the body to rest an extra day. Great hit down the ground by Andre Steyn. Right, Sibin Tazaka, the fielder, at long on.
No, I just mentioned that because she's been pretty athletic today, and I mean she made one very good stop from a crunching off drive.
It's coming into the
4 runs.
Coming to the field today. She was just sprinting around here, just really.
So she's
doing
not
a lot.
holding back.
She wasn't, and the question was, well, maybe this illness. You don't know what it was because she looked very fit today. So, but look, they won yesterday. They didn't miss it that much. It got a little tight with the Duchesses yesterday, with Sinead Lees and Michaela Kirk trying to take their team over the line. That's a mistimed shot there. She was looking to play it out to mid-wicket, but got a bit of a leaning edge and resulted in a single. End of the 9th, 29 for 1. Andre Steyn 10, Anne-Marie Dirksen 17. Partnership with 29. Run rate so far 3.2. That needs to increase a lot for this Starlights team to put something competitive on the board. I don't think they have. They've got Laura Goodall in coming up next. Masabata Class and Nondumise Shangase as well, who's not too bad. But I kind of feel that these two need to try and increase the run rate to give their teammates who are waiting to come in a little bit less pressure. As we see Janae Winster, right arm off spinner from Southwestern District. She has. We'll give you the field after this one. Nice little lap sweep shot, very quickly going with the outfield. Lovely shot from Anne-Marie Dirksen, who's been sweeping very well today.
Now that time she did wait, and she played that shot very well.
And she also waited for the ball to turn in with the spin, and then she just closed that bat face very nicely. And it's good to see that she's showing that those little light touches, with the cuts and the lap sweep. And she's also got that powerful sweep that she got for the first boundary of the day. Oh, just a very clever cut, but this time Nadine de Klerk and Janae Winster are ready for her with the third man in the boundary. It was interesting in the previous one, Nadine had third man on the boundary, but this time she's in the circle. Very good captaincy there. Oh, nearly coming LBW there, but managing to get the bat onto the ball to go down to the boundary. It is a 4. Let's see it. We're not too sure if it was safe, but from the looks of the fielders, it looks like they had given up the chase there. But very good sweeping from Anne-Marie Dirksen.
Well, as you say, they definitely need to lift the run rate. We're nearly halfway through the innings. And of course, a reminder that one of the reasons the run rate is what it is because right at the beginning was at the second ball. Absolute beauty from Bonga Kaka to bowl the big hitter, Lizelle Lee.
There's a few quick paces in the world, and Ayabonga Kaka is one of them. Another sweep shot from Anne-Marie Dirksen, finding a lot of joy with Janae Winster today. And just adding on the runs, you get a couple of 4s and then you add up with singles, and that gets your total moving up a little bit more. So far in this over, it's 9 runs, Colin. So with 2 balls remaining. So this is where the bonus part of T20 comes in, putting the pressure on the bowler. There we go. That's the rotation of the strike that the Starlights needed. 1 more to the score, taking it up to 39.
Yeah, and that I think it was one of the features yesterday that I think you were talking about, rotating the strike, and it is an important feature. If you can't hit every ball for 4, and you need a score of as many balls as you can.
Our viewers will be very angry at you right now, Colin. They want to see every ball hit for 4, but the nature of T20 is that it's that tussle between bat and ball, putting pressure at different moments and forcing the bowlers to bowl.
I think also it's the old story. The late Hilton Ackerman, one of the great sort of thinkers and coaches of the game, and he said that you always have to respect the bowler as a batter in this case. But if it's a good ball, you're not going to be able to hit it for 4. You've got to respect it, but I think in T20 you've got to be looking to score. So even if you just nudge it into a gap or just short of a fielder, make the fielders coming in.
Yes, and yesterday we saw the Starlights had 59 dot balls in their innings, which is too much. And we're seeing a change in bowling. It's Kirsty Thompson. She is a right-arm off-spinner from Gauteng, Dr. Thompson, that's what they call her. She played for the Proteas a few years back, decided to take a study break, and now she's back as Dr. Thompson.
Oh, that's very good. I was impressed. She batted rather nicely yesterday.
Wow, If this, obviously we're all talking about, this is an audition. We've got the Pakistan series coming up for the Momentum Proteas, and this is the moment where you need to put up your hand, and she put up her hand very well as a foil to possibly even a Lazelle Lee. We got the big hitting, and you got Kirsty Thompson playing that mature innings, nudging the ball around, but also having that power. Beautiful ball from Kirsty Thompson. Is just going on with the arm, a little bit of width for Anna-Marie Dirksen there, but she couldn't connect with that and play her favorite shot. But that would have probably brought Laura Wolfhard in if she had connected with the bat. So it was good first ball.
She certainly gave that one a lot of air.
I think that's what I loved about yesterday. A lot of the spinners were giving the ball a lot of air, just allowing the ball enough time to do its work, because that's what they are paid to do, not necessarily the restrictive darting. And what a shot there from Anna-Marie Dirksen, going to the left-hand side of Nadine de Klerk at mid-off for a lovely 4 there. Great drive from her.
Well, again, tempting the batsman with a lot of flight, but possibly that one just too much flight because it gave plenty of opportunity to put bat on it.
And that's the thing about T20. You have to try different variations, especially from on the wickets. Yesterday, so you're using the same wicket they used yesterday. So you got to find the right pace here, and I think that's always been the struggle for a spinner up front. Obviously, the great spinners know exactly how to bowl and how to bring it in. I think today, Janae and Kirsty really are struggling a bit to find that right length here today. But Nonkuleko Mlaba, number 10, who bowled in the power play, bowled quite well, and it shows that whole international experience that she received at the World Cup and in India, because she opened the bowling at the World Cup and did quite well.
She did very well. I must say, when I was watching some of those games, and when you see her come on and she bowls at what you think is such a gentle pace, but her control was always very good.
Yeah, I think she learned that a lot in India. I think for her that tour was a baptism of fire. She really struggled. You'd think she'd bowl quite well in India, but she really struggled. It was her debut. But to watch the Indian bowlers bowl on those surfaces, I think gave her such a great education. This one is a very bad ball down the leg side, and it was going to go down for 4 wides there. Well,
that is unusual, because yesterday I was mentioning so few extras. And
well, it's the first one. It's the second one of the day. Nadine bowled the wide one as well, but
that was a real wide. I mean, that gave the poor wicketkeeper absolutely no chance.
Yes, young Veronisa Reddy really struggling there with that one. Just it's a hospital pass. Great fielding from Isel Cilliers on the boundary. Nice one-handed stop that brings up the 50.
Well, there's still 9 overs left after this, obviously, and a good established partnership now.
Reverse sweep. And it's going to go down for 4. Laura Wolfhard is chasing, and she will lose that race. Great shot from, this one was Andre Steyn.
That was a very, I suppose, cheeky shot, wasn't it? But very well played, very well executed, and this is becoming an expensive over. 14 offered already, and still 1 ball to go.
Yes. Sometimes, as a captain, you need to find that fifth and sixth bowler, and sometimes they just don't get off.
And that one again was short and gave Andre Steyn plenty of time to work it away.
Not the greatest of overs that Kirsty Thompson would have wanted, but she'll probably be able to come back and try to rectify that for her team. But it's good for the Starlights, who are 55 for 1 after 11. Now the run rate is now moved up to 5. 3 overs ago it was at 3.5. Now it's at 5.
Yeah, much better. And I do wonder, Nadine de Klerk has, I think, captained the side well. The field placings have been excellent, but she's used now 7 bowlers. And you've got to ask, do you need to use that many bowlers? Surely when you've got bowlers keeping a pretty tight control, you don't need to fill in with extra bowlers.
The other thing is you also want to give people enough opportunity to showcase, because it's a as much as this is a tournament and it's competitive, it's also people wanting to give themselves a little bit more opportunity. We've got a change in bowling. Raisibe Ntozake coming in for her second spell, giving it some flight there very nicely, but well played by Andre Steyn, who's now getting into her innings. Started very slowly, but now she's building that up very nicely. She's on 17 right now.
Yeah, I think you make a good point about the opportunities, because that really is what this tournament's about.
Really a good shot there from Dirksen, but just finding that fielder on the ring again. They're just in her eye line on the leg side, and she has to think twice having those 2 fielders there. And over the top, it's going. Great shot for a 1 bounce 4 by Annemarie Dirksen. Really enjoying the spin bowling that the Coronations are providing her today.
Well, she has played herself in. She's been there, well, the whole innings, obviously, and that was almost a 6 with these reduced boundaries. I'm a bit disappointed in that, Paul. Frankly, I was quite interested yesterday to see the boundaries so far out.
And it is another shot over the top, this time onto the offside. Really great exhibition from of her batting skills by Annemarie Dirksen. The first one was on the leg side, down at long on. At long on. Now this time it goes to long off for 4. Very great batting. Yes, the boundaries have been reduced, but both balls would have gone for 4 either way.
Absolutely. That one clattered into the big fence.
Yes, but I think international standard is 65 meters to the boundary, which is what we had yesterday. Today, they were brought in for a provincial standard, which is 55. There was a lack of boundaries yesterday, and yeah, I think the tournament director had a right idea in bringing it in, giving a little bit more options, and making the captain think a little bit twice about the angles and who they want to bowl, and make the bowlers think as well. That sweep shot has worked well for Annemarie Dirksen today. She moves up to 41. The last WSL we had 6 batters scoring 50s, 2 of them scoring 2. That was Danefa Nikak and Laura Wolfart. We're hoping to get a lot more 50s in this tournament. Yesterday we saw 3, Laura Wolfart, Sine Lees and Anneke Bosch yesterday. So hopefully today we could get to a lot more, and obviously tomorrow. But Annemarie Dirksen looking good money for to reach the 50. I hope I haven't necessarily pressed her. Another bowling change. Nadine de Klerk looking for a wicket now, and this is the last over before we do a commentary change, and we get James and Chris back on to do the final 7 overs.
Yeah, just before I go off, if you're trying to prepare players for international cricket, and surely this is what this is, it's the elite of the South African domestic ladies scene. Is it not a good idea to make conditions as challenging as possible with the bigger boundaries?
Yes, I think that's a very good point. What a drive there from Anne-Marie Dirksen. That one just going, coming off the outside of the bat there and going with the angle. It enticed Nadine de Klerk a lot at mid-off, but it was just too much for her. And it's another 4. She moves on to 45.
Well, she certainly played herself in now. And earlier on, when I first came on with you and Paul, she was struggling. You could see she was trying to accelerate, but she wasn't quite getting it right. She was sort of anticipating
I think she
a little.
enjoys the pace now.
Well, maybe, but certainly the last few overs, she's played some fine shots.
Another clever cut there, playing around with this field. I love it when I see a batter just, moving the field to their will and finding the gaps.
Yeah, good batting. You hit the boundary early and then
It's already 5 off 2. Pressure's now on the bowler. Captain's not coming over to talk to her. She's trying to find the right length. This is what T20 is all about. Quick single taken there. Chance of a run out, but great running and great calling from Anne-Marie Dirksen, who was coming to the danger end there, putting pressure on Janae Winster and Veronice Reddy, who is in her first WSL as a wicketkeeper, and so very good calling and running there from the Starlights pair.
I think Anne-Marie put a little bit of a pressure on herself, to be honest, because she started a little bit slowly and then realised she needed to accelerate and took the big dive, which in fact wasn't really necessary because she was going to get there, I think.
Well, Colin, when you're in that position
You
and
don't
you
want to
see
take
that
the
ball
chance.
coming,
Exactly, yes.
you're always like, okay, might as well just put it in and we'll see how it'll end up, and she survived that one. Aya in again. That cut shot has served her well. Just loving it. I still don't. Wouldn't a fly slip necessarily work to just try and deter that shot?
She plays it well, with a lot of assurance. But of course, there is a fielder to make sure that she only gets one at a time. There she gets a short ball, and well, that's Andrew Stein gets a short ball, pulls it out to deep mid-wicket, and again just one.
And that moves the total for the Starlights to 73. I think about 120, 130 would be quite an imposing total for the Coronations, and these two would need to take it as deep as possible. And you don't want to be losing wickets towards the back end, especially after the foundation you've built with the 73-run partnership. Tries that cut shot again, this time not giving herself enough room there, and it going squarer there. And that brings the end of the 13th over, and that's the end of my stint with you, Colin. We've got James and Chris coming on.
Yeah, thanks, Bo. I enjoyed that little stint. Of course, as you say, they're looking to get about 130, but is that going to be possible? Because there's some good bowling to come. Bonga Kaka's still got 2 overs left. But let's hand over to the second team, or sorry, should I say the first team, the next team.
Thanks, Colin. Thank you very much, Colin and Paul, for that. And hello from me for the first time today. And joining me is Chris. And some good batting we're seeing here from Anne-Marie Dirksen and Andre Steyn, as they have taken the Starlights to 73 for 1 after 13 overs.
A lot more resolve at the top of order that we saw yesterday. Yeah, yesterday Starlights 89 for 9 at the end of their innings, and they were looking a lot worse than that for a long part of that until Mystery came in at the end and scored a 38.
So 39 for 8 they were at that one stage, and that 50-run partnership between Tatum LaRue and Kushi Mystery getting them to that 89, as we have Nonkululeko Mlaba coming in from the Wynberg end. And that's played very nicely by Andre Steyn. And good fielding by Nadine de Klerk, and back on the field today, the captain. So
we spoke about the fact the Coronations looked a very strong side yesterday, and you bring in Nadine de Klerk. She's been very good with the ball. They needed that extra seamer, but she's also been a real presence in the field.
She has.
She saved a few runs there, and quick arm. keeping the batsman under pressure.
And Mlaba's first 2 overs only going for 8, and I was a bit surprised that they didn't bowl her through like they did yesterday.
Right.
Chris, I mean, only 8 off her first 2 overs. Batters really trying to get settled, and she looked like she was bothering them with the new ball.
And depending on the spinner, they can often be taken apart in these later overs as the batsmen are starting to swing towards the boundaries.
So it's been 3 singles so far of the first 3 balls of the over, and this has been a feature of this partnership, is that they have done what they didn't do yesterday.
Right.
Is that they've been able to rotate the strike. Dirksen and Steyn doing a good job.
As we
for their
see
team.
the sweep on the offside come in, and the captain Nadine de Klerk's now at long off on that boundary, and it's driven straight to her as they go through for a single.
Think of 2 there. No, it's good fielding by de Klerk, and as Chris said earlier on, she has been a powerhouse in the field today.
There's also, she's been very active in her captaincy, where lots of running around, speaking to the bowlers as soon as something seems to go wrong, make sure that they're doing what she needs from them.
Mlaba then with the 5th ball of over, and that
Lovely
is going to go
shot.
out of the park.
First 6 of the competition.
First 6 of the as Chris saying, and that is maximum on that one. Tasman Brits can do nothing but go and collect the ball from just in front of the Oaks, and tosses that back, and really good shot there from Andri Steyn. She moves on to 27. Annerie Dirksen 1 away from a well-deserved 50 as they move to 83 for 1 ball left in the 14th over. Better delivery from Mlaba there, just cramping her a bit for space on that one.
I feel like we saw this yesterday as well, where Mlaba was very economical in her first 2 overs, and then
she did go for a few more in her next 2, but it was then I think again what happened yesterday with the Coronations against the Duchesses was that Duchesses kept the wickets in hand as well, and Sinead Luce scoring a very good 50 yesterday, and Annerie Dirksen is going to, it looks like, hopefully I'm not putting the mockers on her, but hopefully she's going to be doing the same here, as it's another change of bowling, and from the Kelvin Grove end we're going to be having Raisibe Ntozake, who is going to be coming in to bowl. So far 2 overs for 13, and we probably have another 2 overs before we see the seam twins of de Klerk and Kaka coming in.
Yeah, that's a strong bowling partnership to finish it off with. You just need to find these overs at the end of the middle overs, and then you've got 4 good overs from those 2 international players.
So Annerie Dirksen on 49, and she'll be facing Ntozake coming in from the Kelvin Grove end, looking for just that single for her 50, and really will be well deserved for the Free State player, and that isn't going to get her 50. Well fielded, or just the regulation fielding for Ayabonga Kaka in there at backward point, and she'll have a role to play in the next 4 or 5 overs. And there we go, that is the 50, and kudos to Annerie Dirksen, just pushing that one through to Laura Wolfart at long off, and she gets to her 50, and Chris will give us the stats when we see those stats.
It might be. So Annerie Dirksen, 50 runs or 53 deliveries, 25 dot balls and 7 fours, so just under a run a ball, but she does have time to accelerate now at the end of the innings.
I'm expecting Andri Steyn is going to have a go at Ntozake here. Let's see what happens. Oh.
And now a player from every side in the competition has scored a 50.
Yeah.
The Starlights were the one side who didn't manage to do that yesterday, but now they've joined the club.
So far it's actually not been a bad over at all from Ntozake. Only the 2 runs off the over so far, 3 balls gone, and Dirksen facing again. That one she squeezes out into the gap on the offside. Very well bowled, very well batted, and good shot that goes to the boundary for 4. And touching of the bats. That's the social distancing way to celebrate hitting a 4 in the middle there. So 89 so far the partnership, 89 for 1.
That now equals their score yesterday, where they
Yeah.
found themselves 89 for 9 at the end of their overs.
Yeah.
So yeah, infinitely better.
Yes, and still 5 overs and 2 balls left, looking certainly at least 120 one feels if these two stay there, and that's
One very loud appeal for the stumping coming from the mid-wicket region.
that was sounding like it was Tasman Brits on the mid-wicket
Yeah.
boundary that came from. That is probably all of 70 or 80 metres away from us.
But the right angle to see if
I
the
think so,
batsman
yeah.
was in
Yeah.
or not.
Fortunately not gone out of her crease. Annery Dirksen, as Ntozaki last ball of the over, and a reverse sweep. Doesn't quite get hold of it, and Ayabonga Kaka does her Orlando Pirates impersonation there, just stopping the ball with her foot, and throws it back in. I should have said actually Kaiser Chiefs, because Paul's actually a Kaiser Chiefs supporter, so I'm going to be in trouble now for saying Orlando Pirates. We'll have to ask Ayabonga Kaka exactly who her which team she does actually support. 15 gone, 90, so exactly 6 and over.
Yeah. So the highest score in the competition so far, 132. They've got a good base
They have.
to have a go at that.
They can indeed challenge that, and with the batting lineup that the Coronations have, particularly if Laura Wolfart fires again today, then it's going to be difficult
And
one
now,
feels to
of
defend
course,
that.
Nadine de Klerk will be in that Coronations
She
order
will.
as well,
Yeah.
bolstering it even further.
So Mlaba to bowl her final over from the Weinberg end
Yeah.
here at 6 Gangrel Newlands.
She went for 10 in her last. She'll be hoping to keep it a little bit tighter. And this one,
Oh, well
yeah,
played.
swept beautifully just down to the fine leg region. That's another 4.
Yeah, Annery Dirksen seeing the ball like a pumpkin at the moment, and that one she really went across her stumps, as you would have seen, and swept it beautifully, very fine. Really good shot. And these two approaching what will be the first century partnership of the competition.
Right.
Not something that one necessarily is
And-
expecting to see too many of. So Mlaba now has got a job to do with conceding a boundary off the first ball of the over, and a bit of advice from her captain. She's decided to change her angle. She's going to be coming now left arm over the wicket instead of left arm round, and moving that ball away from the right-hander. Just interesting to see what her line's going to be here, Chris. Yeah, that's a much better delivery from Mlaba. Not giving Dirksen the chance to move across
Yeah.
the stumps, and
I
they
don't
have also
think
put
too
in that
much-
short fine leg as
I don't
well.
think too much was wrong with the previous one. It was just very innovative shot by Dirksen to get it down there.
There's some good batting here. She's certainly taken that one on, and successfully taken it on as well. One bounce into the boundary between mid-wicket and long on.
And moves on to 63, which I think is the highest score of the competition
is
so far,
indeed,
individual
yes.
score.
So Laura Wolfart getting 61 yesterday. I think so, 63 the highest score so far, and these two now only 2 away from bringing up the Starlights 100 and bringing up their 100 partnership. One feels it'll come in this over.
Or
it may well come
even
off this
that delivery.
ball, yeah.
As they scurry through for the second, it's going towards
Yeah.
that long off boundary. Nadine de Klerk does the fielding, and that's 100 up.
Yeah, well
Partnership
done
and
to
total.
the Starlights and these two for the 100 partnership, and we'll give you those details shortly.
Yeah, going at more than a run a ball, 100 runs off just 96 deliveries there.
So looking, that 132 is looking
With-
in danger at the
Yeah,
moment.
12 fours, the most we've seen of any inning so far, and the 1-6, the only 6 that we've seen in the competition.
And that one, the full toss there, not being able to be put away by Dirksen, and they get through for the single. So another expensive over this has been so far from Nonkululeko Mlaba.
Yeah, it started very well, just 8 runs off her first 2 overs.
And she is looking down for the last delivery. Let's see what she can do with this one, and just take the single down to Nadine de Klerk at long off, and that is the end of the spell for Nonkululeko Mlaba, and another really tough over for her. 12 off
Yeah.
that one. Yeah.
So,
So yeah, she's really struggled. The last 2 overs have gone for 20. 22 off her
Yeah.
last 2 overs. Sorry, 10 off the previous one and 12 off this one. And that is not the kind of return that her captain would have been expecting.
As now we go into the final 4 overs, we will most likely see 4 overs of the international pace of Nadine de Klerk and Ayabonga Kaka. So here's more of a challenge for the established Dirksen and Steyn.
And remembering yesterday with the Duchesses, exceptionally well set towards the end of their innings. Sine Luce looking, for all intents and purposes, going to be taking them home.
Right.
And Ayabonga Kaka coming in and rearranging her stumps to make sure that the Coronations had a chance. And then Jane Winster bowling the final over, and the Duchesses not being able to make it over the line. It's de Klerk now. Oh,
and this
that
one's
is going
skied
to
and
be a catch, and it's taken by Winster, looking into the sun. A very difficult catch, and she just as she gets the low 5 from Zintle Kula and from Tasman Brits, and that is the wicket they were looking for. A very good innings there by Andre Steyn comes to an end.
Yeah, although not the bigger aggressor of the innings, still very much doing her role. 29 runs off 34 deliveries, just holding up that other end, building a nice base from which the Starlights can now build.
And Andre Steyn hitting the first 6 of the competition, and she's going to be making her way back to the dugout now as the captain of the Starlights, Laura Goodall, is coming out to join the very impressive Henri Dirksen today. Dirksen on 66. Tempted to say clickety-click, but and Steyn going for 29 off the first ball of Nadine de Klerk's over. So, Chris, the international medium pace attack has certainly made the difference already.
Right, and now we do see another international player come to the crease in Laura Goodall. She has played 18 ODIs and 9 T20s for South Africa. She didn't quite manage to fire with the bat yesterday, but not many of the Starlights did. She managed 7 or 15 in the end. She'll need to bat a little bit faster than that today, but the circumstances are very different.
And now with that wicket going down, be interesting to see what Dirksen's tactics are. The field is pretty widespread, although we've got a ring field on the offside, so it's a 5-4 offside leg side field, and third man just being pushed out down here, and Blaba down here at third man, as it's Nadine de Klerk in from the Kelvin Grove end, and the umpire, I think the bail blew off of the stumps at the Kelvin Grove end. Indeed it did.
The bail bailed, so the bowler bailed.
And yes, so this isn't quite a sinking ship yet though, so they don't need
Definitely
to do too
not.
much bailing, hopefully, as de Klerk's in again.
And a lovely delivery, that one. And it's, she's on.
Oh my goodness! So she's on a hat trick.
Yeah, so she was trying to do that at the beginning of the innings, but strained down leg a bit too much. This one was on the wickets. Dirksen did her best to get her bat around the front of her pads. Doesn't manage to do so, and so in the end, Nadine de Klerk gets another wicket. She's got both of the established batsmen out. Great captain's role that she's filling.
Yeah, my goodness me. So 102 for 1 after it's now 102 for 3. And just looking at that again, Dirksen going across the stumps, hits outs, looks like it's just in line. Again, that probably would have been an umpire's call if we're looking at it on if we're looking at the replay. A very difficult one. But
so in the end, Dirksen 66 runs off 62 deliveries, including 10 fours.
And nice touch we saw there from Mlaba and Kula as they went across to Dirksen on her way off the field and gave her a fist bump for the exceptionally well played 66. And so it's a hat-trick ball.
Right, and I think looking at it, it looks like it's Avodia Yekila who's come to the crease.
It's either the Yekila or Shangase. I think it may well be Shangase that's in. They both both have number 9 on their backs.
Yeah, and that makes more sense. Shangase bats higher up the order typically than Yekila, so that does make more sense.
On the hat-trick ball into Shangase, and
it's a good ball for it. Attacking the stumps again, but doing what she was doing at the beginning, straight slightly down leg. Bit of an anticlimax, but still a brilliant over so far.
It has been very good, and this may well put quite a dampener on the Starlights attempts to get to that 130. One senses now with two new batters at the crease, not going to be that easy in the next 4 overs to get there. It was very neatly played. Good running between Goodall and Shangase. Sorry, the Jones. Oh, it is. No, I think they got it wrong on the scoreboard. So definitely Lara Goodall, left-hander. Scoreboard has it down as Leah Jones, but it's certainly the captain, Lara Goodall, that is at the crease, taking her guard now. So for the left-hander Goodall, we have a Ringfield on the offside, so we've got a short third man, a point, extra cover, deep cover on the boundary, and we have a deep long off. We have a long on, mid-wicket on the boundary, square leg and short fine leg. Oh! That one jabbed into the ground, I think, Chris. And Jane Winster chasing it down, but a bit of help there from Laba, and they take 2 off the first ball.
Right.
For the captain, Goodall, and that takes us, should be on to 105, 106 for 3. Scoreboard a little bit behind. I think they're probably changing the name of the batter at the crease. De Klerk again on the Kelvin Grove end. Oh!
So yeah, played back over the bowler's head there. Nadine de Klerk tried to get a hand up, but nothing she could really do about that one as they scuttled through for another single.
Almost like it was in slow motion there that she sort of put her hand up.
And very far away, but could sense the exasperation.
Okay, not quite sure what the delay is at the moment.
There might be a delay whilst they fix the scoreboard. That looked like it's what the umpire was looking at.
Yes. Okay, so they now have corrected the scoreboard and have put Goodall there, but it's going to be Shangase who's facing. Yeah, some good bowling from Nadine de Klerk in this over. That one through to mid-off, and they brought the field in for probably the lesser experienced Shangase. Good over, that one from Nadine de Klerk, taking the 2 wickets off the first 2 balls of the over, and only conceding the 5 runs in that, including that 1 wide downside. So 6 runs in the over, and now 108 for 3 at the end of 37, the end of 17, to me.
And we get to see the partnership breaker come in, but it's unnecessary now because the partnership's already been broken twice. Ayabonga Kaka comes back into the attack, bowling from the other end to where she was yesterday.
So 3 overs to go, Chris, 108 for 3, and what's your sense here? I mean, it'll be really good if they could get 7, 8 and over from here.
Right. I mean, they definitely have the license to attack here, but it's also going to be good fast bowling that they're up against. 2 overs from Kaka. You can't imagine a huge amount of runs coming off that unless they're especially lucky.
Yeah. So it's a ring offside field to the right-handed Shangase. A short third man, backward point, a cover, extra cover, and a deep mid-off, long off on the boundary. Ayabonga Kaka from the Weinberg end. Yes, again, some good field positioning here. Nadine de Klerk is picking herself to be in that key position at long off.
We've
so
seen that from a lot of the captains, happy to be the fielders at long on and long off at the end of the innings like this.
So we have Rasibe Ntozake, who is at long off for the left-hander, and a very similar field for the left-hander. Lara Goodall, we do have everybody on the leg side apart from the fine leg is on the boundary. So we have a backward square on the boundary, a deep mid-wicket, and a long on, long off, extra cover, point, and short third man. And it's Kaka again from the Weinberg end.
And
that's well played.
Yeah, despite everyone being on that leg side boundary, Lara Goodall does manage to find a gap. But yeah, the positioning of those fielders may be a knowledge of Goodall's game, favouring the leg side, but she still manages to find the gap there.
Does indeed. That one bisecting the gap there between Saliers and de Klerk, and it seemed like it was almost set up nicely for Goodall to play that through the leg side.
She tries it again. This one just seems to die. We saw a bit of that yesterday as well.
Yeah, it was a slower ball with the leg cutter. It looked like from Ayabonga Kaka, just rolling her fingers over it and certainly deceiving the batter Goodall, trying to play that one into that gap on the leg side yet again. A good, clever bowling from the Protea. More conventional that time.
And with everyone on the boundary on the leg side, it's easy enough to go for those singles and just rotate the strike.
So Laura Wolfart is patrolling the deep square leg boundary to the left-hander, and now it's all changed for the right-hander. And we have Tasman Brits and
Zintle
Kula out on the boundary on the leg side. And that's going to bring Tasman Brits is going to come into play here, and just an easy single. Yeah, so apart from that one delivery, it's been a reasonably good over from Ayabonga Kaka.
Yeah, given the circumstances in the field that she set, I think they were happy enough to just accept all of those singles, just trying to avoid the boundaries.
And these two now doing a good job after the loss of those 2 wickets in successive deliveries. Andre Steyn and Annery Dirksen, who had put on 102 for the second wicket, having lost Lizelle Lee's second ball of the innings. The hard-hitting South African opener going for a duck.
This time again, Goodall just happy to sit back and pull it to the leg side boundary as they go through for another single.
And it's the end of the over, so 18 gone and one senses, one more over from Nadine de Klerk and one more over from Ayabonga Kaka, so 116, 130 is looking a possibility.
And if they're going for the record, 132 is the target, then 133-2 would give them a better score than what Coronations got yesterday.
Yeah. And same pitch that they were using yesterday.
But a different field.
Yes. Yes, very much so. And one sense is that, that probably with the field in like this, maybe the Coronations yesterday, a 150 would have been more like the score they could have got. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. The ball is keeping a bit low. Seen a few go sort of subterranean at the Kelvin Grove end. Nadine de Klerk will be, well, she has got, just give us an idea of the field there, Chris.
Very specific in her field placing. She moves along off slightly wider there. She's also got a sweeper on the offside boundary to the left-handed Goodall as carry on after this.
That was...
Then, the field is outside the ring. There's a long on and the wide long off, the sweep on the offside and a cow corner, but that's going to switch for the right-hander.
And they're not as defensive against Shangase. Hasn't been able to really connect with the ball as yet.
But still a wideish mid-wicket or a cow corner, long off, sweeper on the offside. Challenges that cow corner fielder, and they just get a single.
Yeah,
and also deep fine leg to the right-hander. Difficult to describe.
It is.
Describe the field in time when they keep switching between left-handers and right-handers.
Nice pick up there from Tasman Brits on the boundary. Certainly they're spreading it a lot wider. Seem to be spreading it a lot wider for Laura Goodall on the leg side, and that's why.
This one just goes over the short square leg fielder and runs away for 4.
Yeah, and I think Nadine de Klerk will be disappointed with that. One sense is now they may well keep Ayabonga Kaka on the boundary there at deep backward square, but
they'll need to take a boundary rider from somewhere else.
They will, which it's going to be so 4 on the boundary in this the final few overs. Let's see if Laura Goodall can take this one again from outside off stump to the leg side. Actually, it's going to be a chase on the boundary, and she doesn't get there. Iselle Solier is making a valiant attempt on the deep mid-wicket boundary. That one just too straight from Nadine de Klerk. With Nicole de Klerk in the other team, in the Starlights. We haven't seen her yet. Didn't play yesterday. We will see her today on the field, Nicole de Klerk. So it's been an expensive over so far for the Coronations captain. 4 balls gone and 10 already off the over. Oh.
Definitely the right intent there. Doesn't quite manage to make connection there.
Yeah.
Lara Goodall, the captain, you can see the frustration.
Yeah, she was trying to pierce that offside field where there's only one boundary rider out on the
there's,
offside.
yeah, a long off fielder and a sweeper in the covers, but a big gap between the two.
And trying to just angle that one senses between the short third man and the point fielder, and this bail is causing quite a few issues there. I think bring the heavy bails out at the interval.
It should be the standard anywhere in the Western Cape, I think.
It should be, definitely.
Slow delivery. I don't know if she executed it exactly the way she wanted as it's played back over her head.
They're going for 2 here, and they get there. Very good running indeed from Shangase as she makes it back to the bowler's end. Pretty good throw from Ntozake there in the deep, but not quite able to prevent the 2 being taken.
Not quite close enough to the wickets, and Nadine de Klerk not able to hold on to the ball when she removed the stumps either.
Yeah, and you wonder actually whether that was, I know they got the extra run, but whether that was the right call from Shangase, because she's now facing.
I think 2 confident batsmen. I mean, she's still coming in at number 5.
She is.
Even if Goodall's been more effective so far.
Goodall on 20 at the moment off, I can't see how many balls she's faced, 11 off 11 balls, so strike rate close to the 200.
Yeah, we saw stats earlier where very few players so far have managed to strike at more than 110. Goodall doing that and then some.
Well, that's very good from Kaka there, and backed up by Kirsty Thompson in the field as they can't take the run. So Shangase not able to pierce that field, and for this over, interestingly, the offside field is all in. They're all in the ring. So short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, and a long off, a deep long off.
And Kaka bowling to a field there, attacking the wickets, can't do anything except play that into the leg side, and it's just another single.
So 4 balls to go for the Starlights in this innings, and 129 for 3. So it looks like we're going to get a new highest score of the tournament, which will mean that the Coronations, with their, I think, a pretty strong batting lineup, will be chasing a really tough total.
Again, bowling to a field.
Yeah.
Happy to accept the single on the leg side where there's everyone on the boundary.
Yeah, that one, Laura Wolfhard just coming in from backwards, square on the boundary to almost a 45 position.
The strike rotation and all the leg side fielders being on the boundary means there's a lot of fitness for the fielders at the moment, as they have to run in and out of the circle every delivery.
So that's a good delivery from Ayabonga Kaka.
It's taken out leg stump.
She has taken out the leg stump indeed. And Shangase has to make her way back to the pavilion for 6. So, interesting. New batter coming to the crease with only 2 balls to go.
Yeah, will be on strike. Very much. 2 balls.
Only 2 runs off the over so far.
Wonder if there's a license to swing, or if you just try to get Goodall on strike for the last delivery.
I think that would be probably the most sensible thing for the new batter to do, and it's Masabata Class who is coming to the crease, known more for her class with the ball than with class with the bat.
Yeah, but managed to score 11 off 12 yesterday, though for a long time was the only Starlights player with double digits.
That's correct. Until we had that very good partnership between Kushi Mystery and Tatum LaRue, who got them to at least a decent score relative to the Thistles 100. And it'll be Kaka to bowl the last 2 balls of this innings.
And it is just the single that they go for, happy enough to have Lara Goodall face the last delivery.
Yeah, that's the right thing there for Masabata Class to be doing. And Chris, you called it. just rotate that strike, and one's expecting that Laura Goodall will try and make the most of this last delivery to see if they can at least get past the highest scores. Now 131 for 4.
As everyone on the leg side boundary, but there's a bit of a gap in the mid-wicket region, which I'd imagine Goodall's going to try target.
Last ball. Oh, that was
just picks out the
very
fielder
well
who's
played.
closer to Kyle Corner. As they a bit of confusion as they should have gone for the second,
They
perhaps.
should.
But
Perhaps
but
they've
ended
done
up
that,
with one.
and she's really upset with herself, Laura Goodall, although she shouldn't be. Very good innings there from her towards the end, and getting that 22 that she has scored off only 13 deliveries, which really accelerated the run rate towards the end, having lost the impressive Dirksen and initially Andre Steyn of 2 successive deliveries from Nadine de Klerk at the beginning of the 17th over, and we have a bit of a tie for the highest score now.
Yeah. So we've seen a lovely innings from the Starlights here, a lot more composed than they were yesterday. Lazelle Lee fell early, and then we had a masterclass from Annerie Dirksen and Andre Steyn. Dirksen scoring 66, Steyn scoring 29. And then we saw a lovely cameo from the captain at the end, Laura Goodall, scoring a very quick 22. Shangasa just rotating the strike with her, and then Masabata Class doing what she needed to do, 1 off 1 at the end. Pick of the bowlers, the 2 that you'd expect, probably the 2 that took wickets. Ayabonga Kaka, much better economy. She bowled 4 overs, 2 wickets for just 15 runs. Nadine de Klerk, 4 overs, 2 wickets for 25. Otherwise, Thompson bowled just 1 over. It was a little bit expensive going for 15. Winster, who we saw used at the death yesterday, doesn't get those honours today. Bowls 2 overs for no wickets, 13 runs. She also took a good catch for a sky delivery. And Intezake, 3 overs, 20 runs. Bit of a holding role. And Zintle Kula, 2 overs, 13 runs. No wickets for any of them.
And Nkululeko Mlaba, as you were saying earlier, Chris,
Right.
taking a bit of punishment in the last 2 overs, 22
a
going
good
there.
first 2, and then a slightly more expensive second 2.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes when Colin will be joining me for the opening of the Coronations innings as they chase 133 to win this game. she's doing now. She loved batting then. She was a pretty good bowler as well at that time, so it's been interesting. Yeah, but that's Chris. That is.
So what's the running order? It's you and me?
Yeah, you and me, and then it will be, I don't know, Paul, then somebody, I'm not sure, the first 6 overs. So I'll step out anyway on the 6 overs. And then if Paul over there, then Chris will come in. You come in, that's fine.
Okay, that's right, yeah. So this thing picks us up.
Yeah, this will pick us up. Turn it around and it'll pick us up. There we go. Excellent. So welcome back to Six Gun Grill Newlands, where we have the opening pair for the Coronations, Laura Wolfart and Tasman Brits, who will be taking strike. Laura Wolfart taking strike, and the opening bowler for the Starlights, Masabata class, is going to be coming in from the Kelvin Grove end of this beautiful Newlands ground, and it's bathed in sunlight today with a strong southeaster coming through, as is its wont in the summertime. And it's a privilege for me to be here with Colin Bryden. Colin, welcome again.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you with us.
It's a privilege to be here. I'm enjoying it. I've seen some good cricket so far, and there's quite a challenge. At one time, you didn't think that the Starlights would be having to chase very much, but as it is, they've got to chase a decent score.
Indeed, as Masabata class comes towards us now. And that one probably a little bit fortunate not to be called for a wide. Laura Wolfart going through her routine, and a very good 61 she scored yesterday, which took the Coronations to 132 in their total yesterday, which was enough to see off the Duchesses. And today they're chasing 133, so it's going to be very interesting. A lot depends on this opening pair for them. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was certainly very uppish. She went for the square cut and got a bit of a top edge. Went down to third man.
Yeah, third man. I think that is Nicole de Klerk down here at third man. Just in the team today, 2 changes to the Starlights team compared to the team that played yesterday. We have Kushi Mystery, the Limpopo teenager who is sitting out today, and Nicole de Klerk in the team. And just goes past a stumbling extra cover there. We'll just pick up on the players now for you as to exactly who is where for the team. So we have Lizelle Lee, who's come in for Henri Krobelaar. So the 2 changes. We have Nicole de Klerk in, and we also have. I'll tell you after this ball. Ooh. And we also have Christine Tomlinson, the young Western Province player, who is in the team for the Starlights today. So Henri Krobelaar, the Western Province wicketkeeper, being replaced by Lizelle Lee. So with an attempt to supplement the batting slightly, which did work for them today, although Lee herself getting a second baller. Oh.
This is a good over by Masabata class. She's got the players, got the batters struggling to get bat on ball, to get or certainly to find the middle of the bat.
So Masabata class, who's had a good international career. I remember seeing her last year in the 50-over match against Pakistan, picking up a hat-trick. A very, very good opening bowler. And that one there's...
that was a bit of quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were just talking off air about Laura Wolfart, and you've known her for a long time.
Yeah. And she, absolutely. That's you can't bowl a loosener like that to her loose down the leg side. She's going to punish you. Probably one of the best cover drivers of the ball that certainly in certainly women's cricket, and in fact I would hazard to say probably in cricket overall, she has just got the most classic cover drive. But that one on the legs, she's not going to miss out. So of the certainly 20 over cricket, she hasn't actually played that many T20 internationals. Largely, I think, regarded as a player that builds an innings rather than actually sort of explodes.
Well, I think
but
she's growing in
She
her
is.
game, and she certainly showed that in that World Cup last
Yes,
year, where
definitely.
she showed that she's got the ability to do more than just play the solid innings.
which is something I know she has been working on very, very hard, and picked for the team of the tournament there, Colin, at the T20 World Cup.
And I have to say that if you look at the cover of the South African Cricket Annual,
Yes.
which you might struggle to find because there aren't very many of them around, I'll come back to it.
She's on the cover, and my goodness, yes, you can't bowl there to Tasman Brits.
That was a very friendly delivery.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Very friendly half-tracker from Tatum LaRue, first up from the Western Province seam bowler, and Tasman Brits is going to dispatch those through mid-wicket every day of the week. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Laura Wolfhard, actually this shares the cover with the men's
Okay.
cricketer of the year,
Yeah.
of course,
Right.
Quinton de Kock.
Yes.
But I think I've got a lot of admiration for Laura Wolfhard.
Yeah.
I think she's a terrific player, and she's shown it herself on the world stage. I was also interested yesterday. I think she was struggling a little bit to get her timing, but it was her first innings of the season, and she played herself in, and of course blossomed.
Yeah. And that's the Laura that we know, certainly. That she does that, and a bit fortunate there that Tatum LaRue didn't get a touch on that one as it came back. Very unfortunate for Tasman Brits that it didn't go past the wickets. But that had 4 written all over it, didn't it?
Well, it was. We were talking about Laura Wolfhard and the sort of classy shot. That was more of a bludgeon
It
there
was
from
from
Tasman Brits.
And Tasman has that ability. I mean, she is known as a hard-hitting batter for the Northwest team. Played a few matches for South Africa. And we were saying yesterday that Tasman yesterday found a strange way to get herself out, and certainly she seemed to have been very unfortunate in a lot of her innings during the tournament or the tour last year with Pakistan, that she sort of got herself out in some strange ways where you would have expected her to have perhaps been stayed around a lot longer.
Well, she went for the big shot there,
And that is her weakness, actually. The from my point of view, the front foot is she's not as strong on the front foot.
no, and there wasn't really any footwork, so she was pretty much anchored and had a big flail at it.
So you will get caught out at international level if you have got a weakness in those areas.
But that was a much better shot there, that little flick down to the leg.
She's very comfortable playing off the back foot, and she really can hurt you quite badly. And has, I think, done quite a lot of work on her front foot shots. But as you say, the foot movement, very, very important. And something yesterday that we didn't see a lot of from many of the batters. Solid. That one. End of the second over, and total 11 without loss, and reasonably good start. I think they'll be happy with that. Tatum LaRue, Western Province seamer, and who had a good game yesterday, more with the bat as well as with the ball. And Masabata Class, who has a really good pedigree at international level. So let's have a look at the field quickly for the right-handed Tasman Brits, who's now on strike. We've got a third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, square leg and fine leg, to sort of 10 metres in from the boundary. And I think that's Ivorio Yakile.
Well, they've certainly made a better start than
Yes, than the Starlights.
The Starlights. I was 17 they made off the first 6 overs,
Yes.
and yet they
Very
ended
slow.
up, and I think it's just shows the value of building a partnership, because
Absolutely.
eventually they finished with 132.
Yeah, which was really, really good. Oh, that's a very good shot from Tasman Brits. And yeah, no need to run for that one, and gets her second boundary and takes herself into double figures now. And on 10, Laura Wolford on 5.15 after 2.2 overs, and just try and see if we can look at the field here for the right-hander, and I'm trying to pick out, because we've got a feature of this with the numbers on the Starlights. We've got 2 number 9s, Yakila and Shangai, so we'll try and see where they are.
How does that work? How do they have 2 number 9s?
According to
I
the
don't know.
team list,
Yeah.
Shanghai is supposed to be number 6.
Yeah, it's supposed to be number 6, but
Maybe they sewed it on the wrong way around.
maybe they did, yeah. She's definitely not wearing her shirt upside down, so that's fine. Oh, hit hard, but that one straight to the captain, Laura Goodall, who is in at mid-off and wearing she's got more than one hat on today. In fact, she's got 2 caps on. She's got the bowler's cap and her own cap on.
She played a very nice little innings
She did, didn't she?
at the end, because you had the big partnership
Yeah.
between Anna-Marie Dirksen and Andre Steyn,
Yeah.
put on 100.
Oh, she got it. That is the end of Tasman Brits. It's a good catch there, taken by. Let's have a look who took that catch now. Andre Steyn there at square leg taking a catch. And the end of it, Tasman Brits' strength became a weakness there, Colin.
Yeah, she hit it. She made good contact, but straight to the fielder, just behind square leg, and a sharp catch.
Yeah, it was a good
So
catch.
well held by Andre Steyn.
Yes, so that's the benefit of having the international players in the team, and Andre Steyn making sure that she made no mistake with that one, as we now see Kirsty Thompson from Gauteng, who is joining Laura Wolford at the crease. First wicket going down with a score on 15, and Tasman Brits out for 10. She'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I think you almost presaged it, because you did mention that she likes to go for her shot. She doesn't necessarily get herself settled.
Yeah.
And of course that's part of, I suppose you could say, in 20 over cricket you need that kind of player as well.
You do, and when she does come up, which she has done on numerous occasions. I mean, she has played international cricket, so let's wait for this delivery. That's going to be close. I think, no. I think that one, we'll see if we can get an idea of what may have happened there. It looked a bit high, maybe. First view, maybe going down leg.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I just thought that maybe she got across, and possibly it would have been outside the line.
Yeah, that one, we're just looking at the replay
got the
now.
replay?
We got the replay, just hitting her in the line of leg stump. I think that's actually going. I think the only thing it could have been was perhaps missing the leg stump, but that's
Well,
all.
it wasn't missing. Looking at that replay,
No, it wasn't missing much
I
of
think
it.
she might consider herself a little bit
I
fortunate.
think she can consider herself very fortunate. They did get, in fact, they didn't get any run off that. So the end of the third over, very successful one for the Starlights. Masavada Class taking the wicket of Tasman Brits, and should have had the wicket of Kirsty Thompson. Yeah, good running here from these two, as it's that's Christine Tomlinson from Western Province, who's playing her first game of the tournament today for the Starlights. Missed out on the match yesterday. We have her and Nicole de Klerk, who are playing for the Starlights today. And just in terms of the Starlights, you may have, if you're listening, you may have known that Chloe Tryon was in fact nominated as the captain. That one just down to long leg, and they just trot through for the single. It's Chloe Tron not playing in the tournament, so Laura Goodall has taken over the captaincy and of the Starlights team, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can turn around that defeat from yesterday. So far, it's been a good opening bowling performance.
Well, there is an example
Yes.
of the elegant Laura Wolfhard drive, but not finding the gap in the field.
And she was struggling a bit yesterday early on to find the gap as well. If I remember rightly, that was some good work there by the youngster Leah Jones, the Western Province player at that point. That is going to be all the way. Yeah.
Very nicely played.
Yeah.
Risky, got to the pitch of the ball, and found the gap, which
She
is
did indeed. Yeah.
such an important part. I mean, when you see the quality players,
Yes.
that's the difference, isn't it? That
It is.
They can find the gaps where other players play some elegant strokes and
And
often hit
it
them
was
to the
very
field.
very noticeable yesterday that the players that have been playing in tournaments like the WBBL, where Laura was playing for, I think it's the Adelaide Strikers, I'm not sure of the name, where she had a pretty good tournament up until sort of halfway through the tournament, was amongst the top two run scorers. It sort of fell off a bit towards the end, it seems, but certainly the batters who've been playing in these tournaments, and the players that also went through to the United Arab Emirates, so Sine Luce and Ayabonga Kako were both there in the UAE, and a number of players, Lizelle Lee obviously not performing particularly well over the last two matches, but Laura, having played over in Australia, looking like they feel more comfortable at the crease. The other players struggling to get the ball into the gaps and off the square sometimes.
Well, I suppose that's also a point, and I said earlier, Laura Wolfhard playing her first
Yeah.
match of the season, but of course
Yeah.
it's not really true because she has been playing
Has she-
overseas.
Yeah, I'm not sure what. Again, her BBL record, she was, from a South African point of view, on the batters, Mignon de Pria scored more runs than Laura, but she was second, and somewhere about, I think, in the top 10 amongst the batters in terms of average and runs scored in the WBBL. So for her, a good run in the WBBL, opening the batting, and
Now
we have
we've got a bowling change.
change of bowling. Yes. It's Leah Jones, the young Western Province seamer, coming in and being dispatched by Kirsty Thompson through mid-wicket for 4. Too full and a bit too much down the leg side.
I was very impressed just watching yesterday, watching you fellows and
Yeah.
watching the stream, which I
Yes.
think is a brilliant
It
thing for cricket in general.
is, yes.
That Kirsty Thompson looked a good player, and
She's a good
that
player.
that again looked. She just eased that ball through
She
mid-wicket.
did very compact. She had it. She played a good innings yesterday after the loss of Tasman Brits. And kept low.
Did that one keep a little low? She
Yeah, it did.
certainly-
It definitely kept a little low. Yesterday we saw a lot of variable bounce down at the Kelvin Grove end, and that probably did for Andri Stain yesterday when she was trying to play across the line to a straight one. But that's the first or second one I've seen keep a bit low at this end, at the Weinberg end. Leah Jones had a tough day yesterday with her bowling, unfortunately. But one of the youngsters coming through from a Western Province point of view, and quite a strong Western Province representation at the WSL this year. A very strong province from a cricketing point of view.
And what is the club situation like in the Western Province?
To be honest, I'm not sure, Colin. From a women's point of view, and I've sort of been following a little bit of the provincial setup and the provincial team, very capably coached by Claire Blanche, and a number of trophies and tournaments to their name. They've got some really experienced players in that provincial team.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
the reason I ask is that obviously I follow the scores in
Yes.
the provincial cricket, and
Yeah.
and clearly one of the issues and one of the reasons why I've got a tournament like that is that you do need to bring
Yes.
the elite players together.
Yeah.
And there does seem to be quite a big variation in quality among the provinces.
Yeah, there is indeed. I mean, there is the sort of stronger provinces. Oh, that was a close run thing there. Masabata Class just knocking the ball on it at mid-off, and Kirsty Thompson deciding to go on the misfield and had that
Disobeying
directed.
the old rule
Yes,
about running.
disobeying the
So
old
if that
Yeah.
Mr. Barter's classes hit had been direct, I think she would have been walking back to the pavilion.
She would indeed, and she would have been very disappointed with that. One senses there's an opportunity to fill her boots here again today. Jones with her last ball. Oh, it's beautifully played. Yeah, good fielding out there on the boundary by Laura Goodall, the captain of the Starlights, also from Western Province. And she had, as Colin said, a very good cameo, 22 off 13 balls, really getting them close to that total.
Well, I think the point about that was that we saw the very good century partnership,
yes.
but then both players were out of successive balls from Nadine de Klerk. So that left just a little gap with 4 overs remaining, but Laura Goodall played a nice little innings to get them up to 132 for 4.
So similar sort of stage. Certainly the Starlights were struggling after they lost that wicket with Lizelle Lee when you said those Centurions, the partnership Centurions of Dirksen and Stain were busy building that partnership, and we're seeing now. Is this Yakile or is it Shangasi? We're just trying to. Vodi Yakile, who is the leg spinner, leg break bowler, also on the fringes of South African national selection. Got a couple of good spinners around at the moment. That one, just one senses here. It's going to be a lot about rotating the strike with Laura and Kirsty. That's what they did yesterday to great effect. Good partnership between the two of them yesterday. I think over 60 they put on for the second wicket, and it's going to be interesting to see how if they can pick Yakila. She does have the googly as well as the normal leg break. Pitching it is going to be important.
I see yesterday. I didn't actually see the first game, but she had very good figures. 4 overs, 2 for 13.
Yeah, she bowled particularly well, and the Thistle's batters were really struggling at one stage, only getting to 100, which we felt wasn't a really competitive total. But unfortunately, the Starlights batting order just completely collapsed to 39 for 8. So her good work in the bowling side not helped there. Oh dear, that one has got past the diving Tatum LaRue at backward square leg, and so 4 to Kirsty Thompson takes her into double figures. So then compact, Colin, as you were saying, she really does play the ball well. Has played some international cricket, but a while ago. It's been a while since she's been in the national setup, but a really seasoned campaigner for Gauteng, and plays at the Wanderers Club. In fact, is the club captain at the Wanderers. So really experienced player, good to have in your team. But good over so far. That one boundary only, and only 5 conceded. Oh, again, good running, good backing up there. Andre Stain.
Very good backing up
there.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Sure. That had 5 overthrows written all over it.
It certainly did.
So a good first over from Yakila, just spoiled a little bit by that boundary on the leg side. And that'll be it from me. Thanks, Colin. And Chris is going to be coming in to join you now at the end of the power play.
Thanks, James. Well, decent start. Certainly a much better start than the Starlights made, when they could only score 17 runs in the first in the power play at 34 for 1. Interesting that they used the leg spinner in the power play. Just
Yeah, definitely. But Yakila was probably the pick of their bowlers yesterday, so it makes sense to bring her in as a wicket-taking option. And economics-wise, I mean, she bowled 18 dot balls of her 24 deliveries yesterday. Really doing both jobs. And as James mentioned, probably close to the Proteas side. She's played 4 matches for the emerging side and taken 4 wickets in those matches.
she's a busy player, Kirsty Thompson. She's looking to score all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, very strong looking top 5 for this Coronations side. You need to get early wickets here. I think they'll be able to set a base. I mean, they haven't had to sacrifice anything. They're going quickly and they're not losing wickets at the moment. Leah Jones bowling now, one of the Western Province under-19 players. A little bit expensive yesterday, but as she gains more experience, I'm sure she'll learn to keep her economy rate down.
Well, it's a big test for these youngsters, and there's so much at stake. I'm just looking, they announced yesterday or the day before the Pakistan tour coming up in January. Then, of course, there's another World T20 in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, some excellent fielding on the boundary. They're managing to prevent it. And yeah, obviously we're playing Pakistan, it's ODIs and T20s, and in the women's game that really is the pinnacle. Very few test matches in the women's game. So you aim to make those World Cup sides and aim to make those ODI sides. This one maybe strained down leg just a little bit as Laura Walbart plays that to long on.
Yeah, that was quite an easy put away for Laura, full and on her pads basically.
It looks like they're anticipating some quite aggressive batting here with all the field, so many fielders on the boundary in front of the wickets. As Kirsty Thompson plays this out to the mid-wicket boundary rider for another single.
I suppose it's always a dilemma for a captain in these T20 games. Is at what point do you keep the pressure on by trying to prevent the singles, or make all the singles available by spreading the field?
Right, and it seems quite early on to adopt the retaining role.
Because it certainly takes the pressure off, especially, it's a good total, 132 or target 133, but with 40 runs on the board already, you already feel that you probably need wickets as much as anything else.
And there's a temptation, there's very much a pattern in T20s where your opening bowlers become your death bowlers, where it's often your best bowler, you'll bowl them 2 at the beginning and 2 at the end. But if you don't get enough wickets at the beginning, it may be worth bowling someone like Klaas an extra over, or she won't even get a chance to bowl at the end.
Yeah, sometimes if you keep your best bowlers for the death, it's too late. And there was certainly something in the first innings that with the current.
We see some fielding changes. 2 right-handed batsmen with different field set, where they've got a sweeper on the offside for Walbart, but not for Thompson. They've got a deep square leg. Difference in the game is like Laura Walbart, one of the most confident offside players you'll see in any sort of cricket.
Very much so, and we have seen with Kirsty Thompson, she does like to play to leg.
And now the mid-off becomes a long-off for Kirsty Thompson as well. So the boundary fielders, there's a square leg, a long-off and a long on, as well as a almost cow corner deep mid wicket fielder.
Literally something bugging Kirsty there, I think.
This one, a flighted one from Yakile, and we see some innovative batting from Thompson. I'm not sure if she ended up getting bat on it in the end. Goes for the reverse sweep, and it goes all the way through down to third man, and then managed to get two.
Yeah, so I think she fooled the wicketkeeper as much as anything, because she missed the ball, but the wicketkeeper was probably anticipating the shot.
Frightening one as a wicketkeeper when you see the batter square up to hit it almost straight back at your face like that, the reverse sweep. Thompson on the back foot pulls out to that square leg that she has and Walvart doesn't, and they scamper through for a single. We'll see if square leg does come. No, square leg's gonna we'll find out before Yakile. Yeah, square leg has come in for Laura Walvart. And at this stage of the innings, I think these two batsmen will be happy enough to just rotate the strike the way that they have done.
And they're not having too much difficulty in doing that at the moment either.
Yeah, very defensive field, and strong enough top order that you'd imagine they won't have trouble accelerating later should they need to. We saw very proactive captaincy from Nadine de Klerk. Laura Goodall being maybe slightly more reactive here.
Well, certainly in the early overs, they kept the pressure right on the batters. They were saving the singles. They were bowling to their field. They were bowling very accurately. But of course, the other thing is, of course, with a bowling lineup like Ayabonga, Kaka, Nadine de Klerk herself, and Malaba, there was they've certainly got a good bowling lineup. Ayabonga, Kaka, really impressive.
Yeah, maybe the second best bowling lineup. The Thistles definitely impressed with all their pace options yesterday. It was just relentless. They bowled 5 fast bowlers, and none of them were giving the batsman anything.
So another bowling change.
Shanghai said the other. Laura Walvart plays it straight back to the non-strikers' wickets. I don't think Shanghai managed to get a hand on that. So, great fielding from the wickets. We've got a long off, a long on, a deep square leg, and a deep mid wicket to Laura Walvart. No sweep on the offside like we saw in the previous over. As this one's played through the covers exactly where offside sweeper would be, but it's stopped just short of the offside boundary, and they get through for 2. We spoke about Laura Walvart being a very confident offside player. Good evidence of that there, almost getting another boundary through the covers. Real dart of a delivery there from Shanghai, so in at the wickets of Walvart, who just plays it too long on.
Well, it's very easy at the moment, where you've got a bowler with not a lot of pace, bowling quite accurately, but with long on and long off, all you've got to do is just play it a little bit wide of the bowler, and you've got an easy single every time.
Yeah, it might make sense to have those long fielders if the required run rates were slightly higher and the batters were more tempted to go for the big shots. We saw a couple of catches from Laura Goodall at long on yesterday. another reverse sweep from Kirsty Thompson. This time she does manage to get back to it as it runs away to the third man boundary for a 4.
She made very good contact that time, very well executed. I was talking earlier, and I don't know
And
what
that's,
do you
yeah,
think, Chris, about the boundaries. Do you think it's a good idea to have brought the boundaries in?
it's a double-edged sword, because a lot of these players would be used to playing with the 55-meter boundary that we now see here, but you also want them to be able to prove that they can play on the bigger fields. It's more of a test for the bowlers as well, because it's not just the batters that are affected by the shorter boundaries. Kirsty Thompson, very late on this one, but doesn't manage to make contact as the delivery's widened. Yeah, so
Actually, that's a very good point. I think you're quite right. It does make it more difficult for the bowlers when the boundaries are in, which is a good test for them as well.
another reverse sweep from Kirsty Thompson, but no rewards for this one. Yeah, the double-edged sword, because you do, from your batters, you want evidence that they can score on the longer boundaries if you want to put them in the international side. But it's also definitely, maybe not the purpose of this, but it makes a better spectacle for us as we see a few more boundaries and a slightly more exciting cricket. That's, what a lot of people watch T20s for.
Well, I won't make any
Okay.
cynical remarks whatsoever. But having said that, I suppose the point you made a little while ago is that Test cricket for women just doesn't seem to happen anymore. Even when they have an Ashes series,
Yeah.
they have maybe one Test.
Yeah,
It's a
so the
pity.
women's Ashes does work differently on a point system where they play Test, T20s and the ODIs. Another reverse sweep, and this one does again make it down to the third man boundary for 4. Kirsty Thompson really favouring that reverse sweep last few deliveries more than any other shot.
And again, she played it very well, made excellent contact. Yeah, I suppose being a traditionalist, to me, Test cricket has always been the ultimate. And yet, in the women's game, we've got some really fine South African players who played a lot of ODIs, a lot of T20 internationals, but haven't played a Test match.
Yeah, it's been a long time since South Africa's played a Test match. I think you want even enough sides to keep those matches entertaining, as Kirsty Thompson goes for another sweep, doesn't make contact this time. I definitely, they also don't practice it as the longer form on the domestic level, but I'd love to see a match between South Africa and perhaps a Pakistan or a New Zealand. I don't think Australia are a lot, maybe just a level too high in the longer format. They do have the experience there and they're a very strong side. It may not be a realistic challenge for the South African side at this time. Some good fielding there at point, stopping the ball from making its way past the circle.
In general, I've been quite impressed with the quality of the field and the athleticism of some of these ladies.
Definitely. There was always the risk of rustiness after coming off a long period with no cricket. This one does manage to penetrate the circle and makes its way to the offside boundary for 4.
Well, there we were saying that Kirsty Thompson favours the leg side, but what with the reverse sweeps and that shot, that was a beautifully struck boundary through the covers. And that there you didn't need the boundaries to be brought in because that went all the way to the big
a 4 on
concrete
any
fence.
ground, along the ground the whole way. So now we're sitting 10 overs, 60, after 10 overs, 62 for 1.
Very much on target.
We see Shangase continue here. We've got a deep square leg, deep mid-wicket, long on, long off. sweep shot from Wolvaardt doesn't make it past the short fine leg fielder.
Well bowled, well fielded.
Nondumiso Shangase, another one of the very many Western Province players in the Starlights lineup, also played a few games for South Africa. Oh no, KZN player, but was in the Starlights last year as well, so a player that's been retained.
Well, the one thing I noticed just doing a bit of research before coming here is that the teams, although the teams have got the same names,
Yeah.
a lot of the teams don't have the same players that they had
And
last
even
year.
only two of the coaches are the same as last year, so yeah, the same teams in name almost only. Something like being called the defending champs doesn't count for a huge amount if half the players that won that are now on different teams. But yeah, good opportunity for players to play with new teammates and under different coaches. .49 the partnership was until that shot. Lovely drive by Laura Wolvaardt that's been signalled for. It was very close to being a 6, and that brings up the 50 partnership.
Well, Laura Wolvaardt, she hasn't dominated yet, but Shangasi gave that one a lot of air, and I think it gave maybe a little bit too much because it gave Laura Wolvaardt plenty of time.
Yeah, often that can force an error as a batsman's eyes light up, but Laura Wolvaart's a bit too experienced and a bit too good for that at the moment. 53 runs off 50 deliveries, so a good fast 50 partnership as well. This one, slightly faster delivery that just goes down the leg side as Christine Tomlinson gives chase, I think. And
She did get better. I thought might have come off the pad, but 2 runs.
so Tomlinson, one of the 2 players to come in today who didn't play yesterday, so we haven't seen a huge amount from her just yet. She took 4 wickets at last year's WSL. Right arm seamer. There's a chance that we see her come into the attack later. Yeah, a wideish delivery there from Yukile, and just goes down to third man for a single. Even with the defense, yeah, we haven't seen anything resembling a wicket. There haven't been too many chances either. It's just been confident batting. Flighted delivery from Yukile, just played to the long off fielder.
And again, a handsome stroke from Laura Wolvaardt, nicely to the pitch of the ball. Tempting the umpire there possibly a little bit. I think maybe Kirsty Thompson was rather expecting that to be called wide, but it was not.
Oh, just gets on the back foot there. Lovely hook shot over, full shot over the leg side boundary. Another boundary there for the Coronations. Kirsty Thompson overtakes Laura Wolvaardt, now sitting on 32.
Well, Yengisa, she bowls Yukile, so she bowls quite slowly, and therefore you cannot afford to drop it short like
No.
that. Oop.
I think impact outside off probably on that one. There is an appeal, but it was half-hearted, and the umpire only very quick to say, I don't think so.
Again,
Yeah, tempting the wide line.
Kirsty.
Kirsty Thompson really leaving it and trying to force the umpire's hand. The umpires have been pretty steadfast, not responding to the players. There have been some very loud, overwhelming appeals that you've got to question yourself as an umpire, but no, they've backed themselves very well.
Two scrum halves.
So it's a scrum hole. Lovely fighted off spinner, but it's a bit of a full toss, and that is the wicket-taking delivery. I was saying earlier, Laura Walvart knows how to capitalize on those. She did her best, but she's caught near cow corner, and that's the end of her innings. That's the breakthrough that the Starlights were looking for.
Well, she certainly picked out the fielder there. That was what looked like a gift of a delivery, and she went for the big hit. It was very neatly caught there,
Yeah.
very calmly caught out on the boundary.
So yeah, that's the end of Laura Walvart. The Coronations now 76 for 2 after 12.1. So in the end, yeah, Shangase does the caught by staying bowled Shangase. That's the end of Laura Walvart. 30 runs of 28 deliveries, just over a runnable, 4 fours in that innings. As we're likely to.
Well, that was a second good catch by Stain, because she took a quite a stinging catch at square
Right.
leg to get rid of Tasman Brits.
As,
The first wicket that fell, that was off the bowling of class.
and we see
Tasman Brits
Veronus.
for 10.
Yeah, see Veronus already come to the crease now. We thought there was a chance that de Klerk may come involved, but a chance for Veronus already to prove herself. She scored 5 or 5 yesterday, and I think we may, see some innovative batting from her. Another flighted delivery here from Shangase. Confidently played by Thompson. Back to mid-off.
Well, it puts a little bit more responsibility on Kirsty Thompson. Yesterday, she and Wolfhard had
Yeah.
a decent partnership. She was the more aggressive player. But now I suppose her role is to make sure at least that another partnership gets established.
But she can also play with the confidence that Nadine de Klerk is waiting lower down the order. As we see Reddy square up to face her first delivery of the match.
Beaten in the flight there. No footwork at all, I have to say.
And Shangase looking a lot more enthused now. Very excited by the wicket, and then the chance of another one there. You can feel the energy changing ever so slightly. This darts in towards the wickets. It's picked up at a short mid-on. Yeah, you take the wicket and then you really need to capitalise afterwards as well. Not let it get away from you again. This one strays just a little bit down leg side.
Well, it's been a very good over, apart from the first ball, which is the ball that got the wicket.
Right. Yeah, I think there's a common phrase there that we're not allowed to say on air. And again, and one brings two. Second wicket of the over. That's the end of Reddy. She didn't look confident in the few shots that she did play. Unlucky to. Yeah.
Well, it looks
Unlucky
like I'm
to
on
see
my
the
way.
end of Reddy. That's 5 or 5 in the first game, and she doesn't manage quite as many today as we're likely to see Nadine de Klerk come in. Thank you very much, Colin.
Yeah, thank you. And
Look forward to talking with you later in the second
good
match of the
indeed.
day.
We've got a lot more cricket
As-
today.
Right. As in Paul joins me at the crease.
Yes. For those that love Colin, I do apologize. He'll be back in the next game.
Right.
I've been getting a lot of messages asking me if it's Colin Bryden.
Right.
So that's
So that was, I need to correct myself, the end of Kirsty Thompson at the end. So both established batsmen are gone, and now we do have Nadine de
no,
Klerk.
it isn't Kirsty. It's
okay.
Verenus already.
Okay, that was, so they were wrong. Never-
We're being bamboozled by the scoreboard, just like that lost ball from Shamasi.
Yeah, I'm very quick to doubt myself as soon as I see the all-knowing scorecard. Tell me that I'm wrong.
That brings in Captain Nadine de Klerk. It's really disappointing when a youngster gets that opportunity to bat higher up the order, and she didn't get enough balls at her. And spin is very tough to play against,
Right.
especially as a youngster. But I'm happy that she was given that opportunity to bat higher up the order. You don't get that often.
As we see a change of batting, Christine Tomlinson's joined the attack. I spoke about the fact that we may get to see a bit of a very young player, just 18. She did play in the last WSL. She's been playing Western Province through all the age groups. She comes in, for the first time, didn't play
Took
yesterday.
4 wickets in WSL 1 and 2. Her best figures are 1 for 11, an economy rate of 5.78. It's a very good start from her. Slightly down the leg side. You want that line to be a lot more straighter on off.
Yeah, so after an extended spell of just spin bowling, Kirsty Thompson's going to have to adapt quickly to the fast bowling of Tomlinson. Lovely right arm seamer. Classic Kirsty Thompson innovation as she goes down for the scoop. It's running away towards the fine leg boundary, but it looks like it will be picked up there by Tatum LaRue.
Very good, innovative stroke making from Kirsty Thompson. She is one of the players who've put her hand up in this WSL 2.0, scoring very nicely yesterday for the Coronations in that first innings, with that nice partnership again with Laura Wolfart yesterday.
This one left well enough alone. Another one that's tempting the umpire. Kirsty Thompson happy to leave them tempt the umpire, but it's a regulation delivery.
Okay,
and a dot ball.
the rate required right now is 7.3, so it is a roundabout run or ball. There's not a lot of... You don't have to take risks at this point in time if you're the Coronations. Yes, you're losing wickets on one end, but you've got Nadine de Klerk at the other end to help you guide the ship home.
Yeah, two strong batsmen here. Kirsty Thompson, who proved herself in the first game, has been scoring quite a lot of runs domestically, lots of 40s.
Yeah.
And I think the 150 recently as well. And Nadine de Klerk, who we know
Dr.
what she's
Thompson.
capable of.
Dr. Thompson doing a very good job for the Coronations. In terms of the tournament of the Coronations win today, that sets them up, puts them one door into taking the WSL again. Nice little ball outside the off stump from Tomlinson. Great fielding there from
Henry Dirksen.
Henry Dirksen, yes, who has done quite well. Nice little push out there as well. Keeping it very tight from Tomlinson. Good over from her. Just a couple of runs from that over. Well done to her. I think her big development point in this WSL is to consistently perform at the senior level.
Right.
She's done very well at under-19s, captained the provincial side at under-19s, a few games at provincial. This is an opportunity for her to step it up.
Although, limited opportunities so far, not playing in the first game and only given the one over so far in this one. We'll see if she's given another as we slowly going towards the final few overs. 4 of which I'm sure will be shared between LaRue and Klaas. So we see another over of spin. This one quite fast and short and doesn't make it past the cover fielders.
And then darting that one into Kirsty, not wanting to give her flight up front. She's got the fielders in the deep for protection, 3 on the leg side and 1 on the off.
More flight here, and beautiful sweep from Kirsty Thompson,
A
very
little bit
quickly.
too much flight there.
And
Full
another
toss.
one where that's a 4 on any field, very quick over that square leg boundary.
Kirsty Thompson goes to 40. Her high score yesterday was 38. Her previous high score as in international cricket is 48. She only played 7 matches for the national women's side. Driven down the ground by Thompson. There is that protection, that long off fielder there. So I would like to see Shangase try and give it a little bit of flight and try get the ball to turn off the surface and tempt the batsman to try and target one of those that leg side boundary that's been brought in. Oh, what a ball!
Kirsty Thompson very much in the runs at the beginning of this year. She did get that 50 against Northerns and then a couple of 40s against Western Province. Or 3 40s in fact
So here's
against
the
Western
thing.
Province.
In the Starlights innings, they scored 132, which is the same score the Coronations scored yesterday.
Yes.
Guess the number of dot balls.
In this
Oh, this one's up in the air, just bounces just in front of that fielder at long on. Shangase is just asking. That is the fielder out there, Stain. As to whether it was Lara Goodall, the captain, to come through a little bit quicker to try and get that, but.
You're talking about the 132 this morning. How many dot? Somewhere around 40.
45, same number of dot balls the Coronations got yesterday in their match against the Duchesses. Good single there. They probably could have taken the 2. There was no fielder backing up at either stumps. But no need for a risk right now. Run rate required is 9.2. It's increased a bit from a couple of overs ago.
And you know that you've got 4 solid overs coming up from Klaas and Tatum LaRue. So we may see Tomlinson be targeted here as the inexperienced seamer who, although very good with her line and length, wasn't seeing a huge amount of pace and it setting up just a little bit.
Yeah, Kirsty was identified by the coaches of the Starlights, that's Claire and Noah, as their
Christine.
Christine, not Kirsty, Christine, as their 4th seaming option, and it's coming here. It's a moment. It's time for the Coronations to probably attack her a little bit more. Beautiful ball
It was an
outside the
attempted
stump.
attack, but
Yeah, just needing to move her feet and just get and take that stride into that ball. I don't think the cut was the best shot option there. Probably could have come forward and driven that through the covers.
again, Tomlinson
Great
tries
calling there, great running from Nadine de Klerk. Great presence of mind to come through for that leg by. Kirsty was obviously a little startled by that ball coming off her shoulder there.
We've seen more innovative shots from her than from anyone else, and even when they fail, she manages to get the runs off of them. So this one's played
Flat.
powerfully back, but it gets caught up in the grass and it's picked up by the captain, Laura Goodall, at long on.
Yeah, looks like Lara's wearing 2 caps. She's the 2-capped person today. For
Double captain.
Yeah, the double-capped captain of the Starlights. Great sweep shot down to the square leg boundary. There is no fielder. Once you beat that fielder in that inner ring, it's full value for your runs there.
Thompson moves on to 46, just 1 shot away from that 50.
Straying slightly there was Christine Tomlinson. It is a game of inches here, and if you move, the ball just tracked down to the leg side, and it was easy pickings for Kirsty Thompson, who has enjoyed who's on a purple patch here at the WSL. Similar colours to her team, the Coronations. Another full toss leg
And that
side ball.
is-
This one swept for another 4, and that brings up Thompson's 50.
Yeah, Thompson, the 5th half centurion of the competition so far. We've seen 50s from a number of players. Raises his bat and
what
very
an
appreciated
innings.
by a team.
It's been a joy to watch Kirsty navigate through this bowling and be the anchor person for this team. One would have thought Laura would be that anchor person, but Kirsty has done that for both innings here and enabled everyone else to be able to attack from the other end.
Both her and Walvark batting at over a runner ball without ever seeming to take a huge number of attacking shots. 50 runs or 45 deliveries in the end, including 9 boundaries from Kirsty Thompson.
Strike rate of 111. Kirsty Thompson knocking on that selection's door. Straight drive down the ground. That'll just be a single, but very good technique and beautiful shot from Kirsty. End of that over. It is 98 for 3. The runs to win for the Coronations are 35. They need to get that from 24 balls.
But as the more experienced fast bowlers come into the attack, there may be that added challenge. They were able to milk the spinners in the middle overs, never needed to be too aggressive, and then Tomlinson, still quite young, they were also able to score a few off her. Now we do see the international player come in Masabata class.
The question would be, it would be Masabata class and Tatum Nuru for the final 4 overs.
Yeah, I think so. We've spoken about the fact that that has become the trend. It's your 2 premier fast bowlers often bowl 2 at the beginning and then used at the death similarly.
Unless you're the Coronation, you will bowl lefty Mlaba at the top and Janae Winster at the bottom in the death overs. Which is also innovative and was great thinking yesterday by Laura Wolfart. Class N wide ball slapped out to Lee Jones at point no run. Now this is where your fielders have to give you value, especially on the offside. If your fast bowler errs like that, you'd want your fielders to save you there.
So we've got deep square leg, deep mid wicket. It looks like the fine leg's going down as well. So all the boundary riders are on the leg side. Yeah, long on, deep mid wicket, deep square leg. As this one is played into the leg side as the long on fielder.
Looking for 2 off the misfield. No, they choose not to.
So it's Laura Goodall there again at long on, like she was yesterday.
And if you look at it, you need 22 balls to get 34. It's not only boundaries, it's twos.
Yeah.
You want to maximize and rotate the strike, especially with a leg-sided field that is on the boundary. That's another drive there. Looking for 2 very good fielding from Shangase to prevent that. And it's just only a single. 100 is up for this Coronation side.
Yeah, 100 off 101 deliveries, 14-4 so far. Lots of boundaries today compared to yesterday, which is what we thought would happen.
It's 14 fours in this innings.
This
down the leg side,
bit
it's
of a
wide,
loose one.
and it will be 4 wides.
Yeah, uncharacteristic there from Masabata class. You can see that she's frustrated with herself after that delivery because that really relieves any pressure that she was trying to build.
A dagger to the heart of this over.
So 3 deliveries left in this class over for her to try claw it back after being a little bit loose there.
Square drive, great fielding there, but they'll take the single off the misfield. And this over has now gone for 8. 8 off this over. The Coronation is now needing 27 off of 20 balls.
Better delivery here from Klaas, but they're still going to get the single because that long arm fielder is so deep.
And as a captain, you'll take that. You'll take that single down to yourself, essentially, as Laura Goodall, the captain. Because you don't want to be leaking boundaries. You don't want to have those ones turn to twos to try and keep the pressure on. You know, if there's a pressure of boundaries in that final over.
But it does also bring Thompson back on strike, the informed player who...
And she's out, castled down the leg side, pulled it onto her leg stump, and the innings, the wonderful innings of Kirsty Thompson comes to an end. 53 runs, a very valuable 53 runs for her team.
Yeah, a good fast 53 of 50 deliveries there, including 9 boundaries.
Yes, 53 of 50 balls, very good innings.
As we see Zintle Kula come to join her captain at the crease.
She'll be disappointed not to be able to take her team home. Losing wickets at this stage of an innings is very tough on the team that's chasing, largely because the incoming batsman needs a couple of balls, and that takes a few dots.
Zintle Kula, who I think has the highest strike rate in the tournament so far, scoring 2 off 1 yesterday.
200 strike rate. She only managed to only bat in the last WSL, only played 1 match, batted in 1 innings. And so now you've got a situation where you need 26 runs of 18 balls. Momentum switch.
Yeah, I think it's maybe not a complete change of momentum, but it definitely makes it a lot more interesting without Kirsty Thompson there. Nadine de Klerk, obviously a capable batter, but still quite new to the crease, and good fast bowling
so the
coming
fielding options now, she's got a sweeper at the point boundary, a ring field with a backward point, an extra cover, and a mid off. You've also got the fly slip there coming in the ring as a third, call it a third man. You've got a square leg inside the circle, a field at fine leg, deep mid wicket, and a long on.
Tatum LaRue coming in quick off her short run up. As this one's played into the covers for a quick single, they hold on to it.
Testing there, Anna-Marie Dirksen, the other half centurion in this match.
We're going to see Zintle Kula bat with 3 overs left. Haven't seen a huge amount of her batting so far. They're just 1 delivery.
But yeah, Zintle just needs to look for a run, get Nadine on the other end, get your senior bat on strike. Good ball there from Tatum LaRue, restricting Zintle much for width there, and she can only play it off the back foot back to the bowler. Gone through. Castled her. Great wicket from Tatum LaRue, an important wicket for the Starlights, who seemingly look like they're going to take this game away from the star-studded Coronations.
As long as Nadine de Klerk's there, it's still a contest.
A 25 off of 15 needed. In comes in Isel Saliers,
who is also capable of hitting boundaries, which is they're going to need a few, needing 25 runs off 15 deliveries.
Yes, she can hit quite a long ball. She has also batted higher up. The order hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities to bat in the WSL, only managing 32 runs in 4 matches with a high score of 15, strike rate of 68. But it's about the power now. Right. It's about the ability to get the ball to the boundary, ability to try and take this through. The run rate required is still 10 and over, so it hasn't run away from them. Just the momentum's now on to the fielding side. Those 2 wickets that they've lost in quick succession have not helped them a lot. Down the leg side, looking to turn that into a 2. No, it's just a single.
Happy to have Nadine de Klerk face the last 2 deliveries of the over.
Yes, Masabata class there, coming from that deep mid-wicket boundary, anticipating that ball and preventing that second run from coming through. Slog sweep down the leg side, past that fielder in the ring at square leg, and it beats a diving Masabata class for 4.
Lee Jones, they're also doing well to jump over Masabata class. Could have been a collision there. Yeah. Not a huge amount of gaps with a lot of fielders on the boundary, but Nadine de Klerk did manage to find one there.
It's a tough line you're asking your death bowler to bowl, but obviously you expect the experience from Tatum LaRue. She needs to be straight, middle and off. Nothing straying down the leg side, because that's what's going to happen. You'll result in boundaries. You've got a very strong leg side field with catches in the ring, and you want to bowl to that. It's a similar line that she bowled to Zintle Kula. Just middle stump, aim for that, and it has to be quite full.
You may see her attack the wickets again as the sweep on the offside's been replaced by a square leg.
Full toss now, swept down to the leg side, and a single resulting from that one. Not the greatest of balls, but
it sort of worked with the new field that they set there, where they did have enough fielders on the leg side that it would have to be a very fast, well-timed shot.
19 required of the last 12 balls.
Definitely have a contest on our hands here.
And an important thing about that last one was that single taken brings Nadine de Klerk on strike for this over. So the question is, how does Nadine handle batting with Izal to just make sure that she gets the runs, and on top of that the strike, the most important strike in that final over. Izal is a capable bat. It's just that she's come in quite late in the piece for her to get her eye in, but we'll just have to wait and see if Nadine trusts Izal enough to give her the strike in this all-important penultimate over. This is where most T20s are won and lost. This over is very important. Masabata needs to leave something for Tatum LaRue to bowl at.
And she starts out very well.
What a response. What a way to start the penultimate over with the wicket of the opposing team's captain, Masabata Class, with her third wicket of the game.
And that's following on 3 wickets from yesterday. So 6 wickets in total from Masabata Class. Leading wicket taker again. You just can't keep her out of the wickets in the WSL.
Yes, in the first 2 editions of the WSL, she's taken 9 wickets. And now in this one edition, she's taken 6 in 2 games. A very impressive bowling. And we're talking about the line that Tatum LaRue needed to bowl in the last over. And look how straight that one was.
But also the extra pace that Class has, you can afford to bowl it on the wickets with the reduced risk of it being picked up and knocked into the leg side.
Yes, that brings in Ayabonga Kaka to face her South Africa teammate in Masabata Class. Important for Ayabonga to get to the other end. And she does so. They run for the single. Run out to call their chance, but the umpire says, no, Lizelle, you're slightly slower, and Izal Saliers has made it in. It's Lizelle and Izal. They're a bit of a tongue twister, but we will get through that. Izal Saliers is safe from that run out chance by Lizelle Lee. 18 needed off 10 balls. It's possible. A couple of boundaries swings it in the favour of the Coronations, but if you're Laura Goodall, you'd be very pleased with the performance from your bowling attack. Straight drive over the top for it's a great fielding on the boundary by that was Laura Goodall with the 2 caps there to prevent that ball from going for 4.
Yeah, confident skied shot there, just 2 runs in the end.
And now 16 needed off of 9, so this over has gone just for 3. Straight drive, this one a lot straighter, and it will only result in a single.
And then we will have to see Ayabonga Kaka face a couple more deliveries from Masabata Class.
Yes, I think the question is, if you are Izal, do you take the singles given to you or try to get 2 singles here so you can get back to the non-striker's end and be on strike for the final over?
Decision you'll only have to make on the final ball. Is a lovely on drive or shot there from Ayabonga Kaka, and they do go for the single. So 1 ball left in this over.
14.
Needed off 7. 2 runs a ball.
Yes. Very good bowling from Masabata, class 5 off this over with the wicket.
And not a lot of room for error if you do go for the boundary.
The fielder
here.
at fine leg on the boundary is now come in the circle with long off going to the boundary. That one will be a wide and bowled again, even though Lazelle's disputing with the umpire that Izal had moved across her stumps and was effectively receiving the ball on the wide line.
But yeah, definitely a wide in the end.
And I think it's quite harsh on the Starlights there. But 13 needed off of 7 still. Just 1 added to that total as a result of that wide.
And there's almost going wide down the other way, but there's either bat or pad on it.
And it's a
going
leg
through
by
for
signaled
yes.
for another 1 added to the total. So 12 needed off of 6 balls. It's going down to the wire, Chris. We're very excited. These are the type of games we wanted in
Right.
the WSL.
Right, yeah, it's the right batsman on strike in Azal Cilia. Tatum LaRue, quite an experienced campaigner, but you do not quite as good as Masabata class. You feel there is a chance for this to go either way.
As we've seen in T20s a lot, that final over it's whoever handles the pressure the best. Is it the fielding side? Is it the bowler? Or is it the two batters out there in the middle? We are poised for a very exciting finish in this third match of the WSL 3.0. The Starlights fighting for their survival here with this final lost over with Tatum LaRue getting ready to bowl to Izal Saliers.
Good result there from the bowler because you get the newer batsman, batsman on strike, and you limit it to just a single. So now 11 needed off 5. The fielder's on the boundary. There's a fine leg. There's a deep square leg. There's between cow corner and mid wicket, a fielder on the boundary, and also a long on. So the leg side, just everyone on the boundary. Offside, everyone within the circle.
And Izal was looking to pierce that offside field with that earlier ball. Great. Good single there from Ayabonga Kaka, identifying the fielders who are on the boundary and just getting her senior partner back into on strike.
10 or 4. Yeah, you need to attack here, but I don't know where you go.
Try and pierce that offside field. Give yourself a little bit of room.
Straight
down the ground, hit, and it will be a couple of bounces, and it's a 4. It's a 4. Great shot there from Izal Saliers, taking the runs needed to win down to 6. Pressure now back on the bowling of Tatum LaRue. It was too full. It wasn't full enough. Izal was able to get underneath that ball and drive it down the ground, where long on is now at mid on. Now long off actually is now moving. Mid off is moving down to long on.
And
you're getting the square leg coming in. So what we're saying is ball straight. What Laura Goodall is saying, ball straight. Don't go down the leg side.
And don't pitch it too short.
Yes, that is very true.
As this
Full
is a full
toss.
toss played towards the fine leg region.
It has to be a 2, and it can only run the 1, and 5 needed off of 2 balls left.
Izal Cilia frustrated there. She definitely wanted the 2. You can see the anguish at the
Aya
non-strikers there.
needs to get to the other side in this ball. It's either a boundary or get a single to get Izal in. Aya gets that single. She's and the fielder there that is Anne-Marie Dirksen chooses not to take the shot at the stump, so it's 4 to win.
Yeah, boundaries.
4 to win.
And
1 ball to
ties
go.
especially unlikely. I don't think we're going to
4
see a 3
to
here.
This is exciting stuff here at the WSL. Tatum LaRue coming in.
Oh,
And she misses it. It is gonna be a single, and that's the end. The Starlights win their first match in a WSL 2.0. They put themselves on the board there with the Coronations missing out by just 2 runs there, losing that match by 2 runs. But what a great exhibition of women's T20 cricket in South
Yeah,
Africa.
the closest game that we've seen so far. Very exciting, all the way to the final delivery. It could have gone either way.
Yes, it's
In the
just,
end, yeah, good death bowling.
yes, and that's what Laura Goodall would have wanted from Masabata Klaas and Tatum LaRue, and that ends that Coronations innings. Coronations opened the batting, chasing 132. Laura Wolfart 30 runs. Tasman Brits scoring 10. Kirsty Thompson holding that innings together as the anchor with 53 runs or 50 balls. Veronissa Reddy was bamboozled by Shangasa there as she came in with a baptism of fire for a duck. The scoreboard says congratulations South Africa, but it should say congratulations to the Starlights. Very great game there from the Starlights. As we look at that scorecard for the Coronations there.
So another strong partnership from Wolvaert and Thompson. They've been pretty consistent pillars, but yeah, in the end, the Coronations not able to capitalize on that base and falling just short in the end.
Yes. So now in the tournament, you've got 3 teams on 1 win each. The Starlights are on 1, Coronations are on 1 after playing 2, and the Thistles are on 1. They're going to play the Duchesses. It'll be interesting to see if the Duchesses win. You'll have all 4 teams on 1 win each going into the final day. It is round robin. There is no final. But it is something that we are very happy for here at WSL 3.0. I think giving you the back end of that scorecard, Nadine de Klerk was out-bowled Masabata Klaas for 10 off 11 balls, and Zintle Kula was out-bowled Tatum LaRue for a duck off 2 balls. Isel Saliers stranded there on 10 off 8, and Ayabonga Kaka 4 off 4. From a bowling perspective, Ayabonga Kaka bowled 4 overs, got 2 for 15 with 1 maiden and 10 dots. No, that's the wrong team. Masabata Klaas actually, 4 overs, 3 wickets for 25, pick of the bowlers and probably man of the match today. Tatum LaRue 1 for 26 after her 4. Leah Jones 0 for 3 from her 2 overs. Evodia Yakila bowled quite well. 4 overs, no wickets for 24 runs. Nondumisa Shangase 2 great wickets there, 2 for 24 in her 4 overs, and Christine Tomlinson bowling 2 overs, 0 for 13. The Starlights win by 2 runs, and we'll be back in
An hour.
in an hour's time at 2 p.m. for the Thistles versus the Duchesses.
See you then.